film fans?
What's up? Oh, is it going?
Yeah, it's going. It's going. Yeah, there it is. Let me check the sound.
We need a soundboard.
Isn't that like a soundboard kind of?
What?
We need a soundboard.
No, but like when to go like.
Oh, yeah, okay, I gotcha. Man, they abuse those motherfuckers on radio talk shows.
Yeah.
Those are like a bunch of fart noises and shit.
Oh man, what's going on, film fans? Welcome to Screen Tongue
11.
11.
Right? Yeah.
Double one, yeah.
Basically Gus Van Sant episode.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That's okay though.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
would
had-
you
we had
guys?
Vox Lux in there. Did you guys watch anything this week? Start off
No.
like the way we usually do.
I haven't seen anything since Elephant, and before that was the Brown Bunny.
Right. Okay.
Oh, I watched a little bit of Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That was just to relax.
Yeah, I was able to squeeze in a few this week. I guess we should. Yeah. Last week,
check.
everybody, we helped make some movies.
Oh yeah, we helped Kareem, Anthony's friend Kareem out.
Give him
on
a
his,
shout
on
out.
his short film set.
Guys, be on
Yeah,
the
plug
lookout.
him. Plug him real quick.
Mid to end of May. His name is Kareem Keon Brown. Great guy, funny guy, talented guy. Make sure to check out. Actually, I don't know where if it'll be available, but you're missing out on a great experience of watching the satirical, comedic student short film. You're Late. Written, directed, produced,
And acted in.
and starring
Starring.
Kareem Brown.
Nice.
I served as the cinematographer on the project.
You did a very good job.
Thank you
I was
very
there.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Norby served as a grip and sound recordist.
I ate chips and looked at Anthony's hair.
We're really plugging this guy.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, it was good. It was fun. I had a great time. Then I met Joseph.
Yeah, I met a lot of cool people. Oh, shout
Yeah.
out to Joseph C. High. Also another talented filmmaker and rising
Yeah, I helped
filmmaker.
that guy on his set.
Hey, maybe he's listening to the podcast. Kareem and Joseph, you're very welcome.
Yeah, we need
At
we
least
need
for
to get-
me.
we
It's
need to
a,
get
it's a
some
yes for me.
Special guests on here.
Yeah, it'd be cool to
Some
have
point,
Kareem on.
you know?
I'd like to have Joseph on. I don't know how well he'd like to
I
talk.
don't know. Yeah, how he'd fare in a podcast.
I think it'd be cool to just have him there to like chime in.
Yeah,
you know?
It's the atmosphere, dude.
Yeah. He does bring good vibes.
Yeah, your hair was like standing up in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
dude,
it's
yeah,
like-
it was crazy watching you. It was like I like watching you work with all the lights and the camera and stuff. It was fun.
Thank you very much. That's very kind words. Yeah, I have a hair thing. I have a calic. Whatever.
Calic.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this right here, like, some like anime type shit sticking up right here. That was fun though. That was cool.
Yeah.
It was long days.
So what other movies did you see?
Yeah. Oh, I saw Godzilla vs Kong.
Oh,
Yeah.
didn't you see that, Norby?
Nah, I didn't. But I had somebody spoil it for me. 'Cause
Oh,
I
yeah.
asked them to.
I think we spoiled it the
Yeah,
last
we-
episode.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we talk
Yeah,
about
we
it?
did talk about it last time.
Oh shit. Okay. Sorry everybody. I did watch stuff. I watched this one. It's a Netflix like documentary type of thing. It's called Have a Good Trip.
Okay.
It's basically like a whole bunch of like celebrities or like famous people just sharing their stories with
Oh, nice.
psychedelics and
Oh, that's
it's
really
just
cool.
like kind of a little bit of like the history of psychedelics as well, and just basically just talking about like how tripping can be a positive thing.
Interesting.
That's
okay.
good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I watched. Yesterday, my girlfriend and I watched this HBO Max original called Unpregnant.
Whoa.
And it's basically it's just like kind of like a teen road trip movie.
Yeah.
But it stars one of the girls from Euphoria.
Mm.
That my girlfriend likes. So sorry, I'm just playing with this.
I know you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
That my girlfriend likes from the show, so we just checked it out. But it's essentially about like they used to be best friends, but they don't talk anymore type of deal. Or they grew up together, and one of them, was like a valedictorian, doing everything type of stuff, and then the other one's kind of like a loner kind of,
Yeah.
person. But the one who gets the valedictorian gets pregnant, and then she has to enlist the help of her ex-best friend to drive across the country because they live in Missouri, where you can't get an abortion without parental consent when you're under 18.
Oh shit.
So they have to drive from Missouri to Albuquerque, and things happen.
That sounds like a hard performance movie.
Is it like 90 minutes?
Performance-driven movie.
Yeah, it's a short movie. I mean, it's a little bit of, it's more of it's lighthearted though, like a comedy type of thing. But yeah, you're right in that it is pretty performance driven. I think the girls have good chemistry. Yeah, I mean, we didn't really feel like watching something very provocative or even good, and we decided on Unpregnant.
Nice.
Sometimes that makes you feel the best.
Yeah, it's what you need sometimes.
Yeah.
That psychedelics one sounds fun too.
I mean,
what'd you say it was called?
It's called Have a Good Trip.
Have a good trip.
It was
It's like
I wouldn't not recommend it. I wouldn't say don't watch that shit, but I also wouldn't say dang, hey.
Oh, you have to go out
You
of your
didn't
way.
learn,
Yeah,
too
don't go out of
much.
your way. But if you're interested already, or you do have 90 minutes to spare, just relaxing. It is a good background movie to have on too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, and I'm stupid because I watched actually two great, really, really exceptional films that I couldn't remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I watched Another Round, the Thomas Vinterberg film.
I want to see that.
And that was great. That was a great fun watch. But I'd never seen any of his work before. And do you guys know the premise of the movie?
I do not.
He's drinking until he.
It's
not until he dies, but
I forget. So the way I'll sell it is I forget who the philosopher or the psychologist was, but in the early 1900s or late 1800s, he wrote this study about how he believed that humans were born with a blood alcohol level that was 0.05% too low, and that if everyone's blood alcohol level was just 0.05% higher, the world would be a better place.
that's clever.
And so imagine for it's not really high school because it's a secondary school, so it's 6th grade through 12th grade, I believe. So imagine for basically high school teachers who are buddies use that theory as a justification to become day drinkers at school. Starring Mads Mikkelsen as the lead. Great performances. Great performances.
Sounds like a really cool premise.
I want to see
It's
that.
a really cool premise.
And it's also it's very interesting to see. It's especially in those Central European countries, the Danish, the Swedish countries, the Scandinavian countries, how drinking is just a big part of the culture. And so it's interesting to see how they explore that because the legal drinking age in Europe is 16.
Right. Yeah.
And so essentially it's a generation of the teachers, a generation of people who grew up in this drinking culture, who are now teaching or associating themselves with people who are first experiencing this drinking culture, and
that's cool.
so it's cool, and it's good things to think about, and it's pretty well crafted. And there's I won't say what it is. There's some very, very interesting sequences of musical expression in the movie that are fun. And then I watched Minari, which is the new A24 film.
Got nominated for Best Picture and stuff.
Oh,
right?
I didn't know it was nominated for Best Picture. I knew it got nominated for something, but
What was that one that there's a Asian movie that got nominated for Best Picture? I think it was an A24 movie too.
The Farewell.
No, this year.
Oh, this year.
I think it was Minari.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Minari's A24?
Yeah, because I don't know any other, but yeah, it was probably Minari.
What's it on about?
That one, oh, sorry. It's about this Korean immigrant family that moves to Arkansas to start a farm.
Yep.
And in the 80s or something like that. And it's just a family drama about I guess the immigrant experience, but also it's more of a family thing. It gave me very strong Ozu, Edward Yang
gotcha.
type of vibes, and especially with one of the characters that's introduced in the movie that seems to be a big from a lot of these generational family films of Asian ones in particular. The way they portray generations of family is very interesting, and I think the movie does a good job. And very standout and just a very fun and funny performance from the kids in the movie, particularly the youngest son. He was actually it was a joy to see him every time he was on screen. So that was fun. So I'd give that a good recommendation if you're looking for something that's
And that's new too.
A recent
so.
film, or on the lighthearted side, that it was still very good.
Nice.
I haven't seen like any movies made in 2021.
Me neither.
Barely any from 2020 except for like
same.
Tenet and
I just saw Mank and Tenet.
I'm thinking of Ending Things.
Yeah.
Just those two.
Ooh, Kajillionaire. That was a good one that came out last year.
Check
I should recommend that for the podcast.
If you want to,
comedy?
go for it.
It's really hard to describe it. Like I really, it's like she's like an independent film director, but like this is one of her first like larger budget movies, which means something like $2 or $3 million. So it's still fairly low budget. But the only way I could describe the genre is like it's independent. Like indie. It feels is like in terms of the way it mixes and does stuff. But it was a fun watch.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
I want to see the
Sounds
Sound
really
of
good.
Metal.
Oh yeah,
Sound of
everyone
Metal
says
is
that one's
really
too.
good.
Yeah.
That got nominated for a few Oscars, and
Best
it looks like
Picture,
it
too. I
looks like
believe.
it deserves it. It looks good.
Okay.
I want to see Mank.
Mank was
Mank was okay.
Yeah, it was.
Is it not like one of your favorite Finchers?
No.
Nah, it feels so like
It's like
I didn't
a love
finish
letter.
it yet.
Yeah, it's a love letter, but it's also like just as an individual movie, it's like
It's a strange addition to his film.
It looks
Yeah.
it looks so anti like everything he does because he basically
Yeah.
just makes like amazing thrillers.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, it's very. I mean, it's still like a fun movie. Like there's some really fun scenes in there.
A great score from Reznor and
yeah.
Ross.
that's interesting too because I remember reading something where it's like they were going to use instruments from that time period to do the score, and it's cool that they like pulled it off. Shows the versatility of Trent Reznor.
Yeah.
Didn't he do the music for Soul?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Probably.
he did.
That's funny.
Well, it was a collaboration with him. Trent Reznor has Attica Ross and a jazz musician.
Okay.
Oh, and then I got to watch Beach Bum finally. Yeah, Beach Bum was
So
fun.
you've seen all Harmony Korine?
all of his movies, yeah.
Nice.
Got all of them under my belt.
Yeah. Now you can rank them.
Yeah, I can rank them.
Now
Yeah.
you can watch Mojo it.
Should I do it right now, or should we just wait for the
up to you.
future?
Up to you.
I definitely like his earlier stuff the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all really good. Yeah, but Beach Bum is like I think we already talked about it a little bit. It's more like a stoner comedy type of movie.
Yeah.
Is Matthew McConaughey good in it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's
great.
really
Okay.
good.
He
Yeah,
pulls it off.
yeah, he pulls it off really well.
Is there like a main character in Gummo or no? Because I was gonna say like it
there
seems
is,
like
there
Harmony
is.
Korine kind of gets like really weird performances out of like his lead actors.
Yeah, there's main characters in Gummo. There's a lot of characters, but there's definitely like two who are like
Okay.
the main characters.
Because like Spring Breakers and maybe it's something more he's done recently, but Spring Breakers and The Beach Bum, like James Franco and Matthew McConaughey are really like, I guess against type kind of. Not that they're like typecast actors, but
It's like a really like
they're really out there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
it's really adding some variety to
Yeah.
like their repertoire of bullshit characters or whatever. Yeah, what else?
I like Matthew McConaughey though. Have you ever seen Dallas Buyers Club?
Yeah, I have.
He's really
movie's
that
really
movie's
good.
great.
Yeah,
I really like.
I like
that
that
movie.
one too.
I started
Been a while,
watching
but-
Mud. I didn't finish
Oh,
it.
that
but
looked pretty good, too.
That was good. He's in it.
I like him in Interstellar.
I don't really like Interstellar, but yeah, I like him in it.
Interstellar has one scene that's kind of fucked up, but
Which scene? Is
the
the one-
end.
Yeah, the end. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah,
Aside from that, I think Interstellar's like amazing.
yeah.
but
If it wasn't for the end, I'd probably like Interstellar more.
the end is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
have
For
you
that one always was flat for me. Everyone really liked it, and that one I
It didn't make you
really-
cry?
No, I didn't get into it.
Did you cry?
I don't think I cried, but I definitely felt like pretty sad about it.
I might just be a bitch. I don't know. Like, I
This guy's
first
crying
time,
during the Brown Bunny.
yeah, I know. Brown Bunny. Fucking. I almost cried during Easy Rider.
Oh really?
But
yeah, I remember
not
telling
at the
about that.
end. Not at the end. There's just a part where they're playing a
It's just-
song, and it just like made me emotional.
yeah.
Interstellar though, like, I feel it's got a really good like emotional payoff.
Yeah.
It
it
builds
is-
up to it.
Yeah.
It's funny how like like Tenet or even Dunkirk are all like technical precision, and they're lacking that emotion. And sure, Interstellar has the technical thing, but it feels like it's just stuffed with emotion.
It's
know?
almost like could be like a book or something. Like Dunkirk or Tenet, they couldn't be a. You have to see that.
Yeah.
You know. I want to see Dazed and Confused too.
Me too. I haven't seen that
You
one.
guys
That
haven't
looks
seen it?
really
No, I
good.
haven't
I went
seen
to the
it.
drive-in to see that. That was a
Holy
that was a fun
shit, that
drive-in
sounds
watch.
awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's like what that movie's made for.
Yeah, exactly. We got a little drunk. And you watched the movie.
Oh.
It was fun.
Fuck yeah, dude.
All right, do your impression. You gotta do it.
That's how he starts. And then, all right. I love high schoolers. What did he say? He's like,
You know
He's
that-
like,
you know
'cause
that
you get
somehow.
older and they stay the same age.
Yeah,
and shit like
you-
that.
They
I
stay
could
the
get
same age. I've thought about recommending that movie.
Yeah, if
Maybe.
you did,
We
I
gotta
would
do a
totally-
Linklater episode.
Yeah.
Do
Oh, yeah,
that
that'd be
one,
awesome.
Waking Life.
He is very versatile.
Yeah.
He's done fucking like
the trench coat stuff.
School of Rock and then like the
I
Before
love
trilogy.
School of Rock.
School of Rock's awesome,
Yeah, it's
It's
dude.
so fun.
Really great kids movie.
Jack Black's fucking.
It's his best performance. Maybe.
It's a really fucking good movie. I didn't even know Richard Linklater did it.
Yeah,
Me
me
neither.
neither.
Like, Then
always-
you just like you start going through this guy's filmography and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. That's how I was.
All right, should we get started on the movies?
All right.
So
Anything
Elephant.
else?
Yeah, that's all right.
All right.
Elephant.
Elephant, yeah,
You
so
requested Elephant.
I did
Norby.
request Elephant. Yeah, I remember you mentioned it after we were walking out from the class in intro screenwriting, and you told me the premise, and I was like, okay, I have to see that movie. I've never seen a movie like that.
You made
before.
something similar to it too, kind of.
Yeah, I made an
for-
audio project on it. I actually have it if you guys want to listen to it.
I'd like to
Yeah,
listen.
yeah.
to that
I forget if
somewhat.
it's bad or good, but the professor really liked it.
So, what did you expect? Did you expect it to be good? You expect because we kind of hyped it up.
Yeah. I knew there's gonna be a lot of tracking shots, so I expected it to
Okay.
be like pretty slow.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting it to be a little bit more like God, what's that one the one high school movie with the kid who watches watches porn and he's like in a dorm. Oh fuck, what's it called?
After School.
After School. I thought it was gonna be more like After School.
Okay,
in
that's
a way
fair.
it kind of is. Like there's a few
Long
parts
shots
yeah,
and
long
stuff,
shots. It kind
yeah.
of reminds me of that, but it definitely felt more like the editing choices here are really just like stood out to me. Like it
Really?
starts out with like the green like turquoise sky. It's like I wonder why they chose to do that. They didn't have to do that.
It looks pretty.
It's really pretty, yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't do. It's literally just like that one shot of the sky. Like I'm wondering why they chose to do that. Like especially
It's
turquoise.
such a striking
Or-
image.
It is, yeah.
Have you been thinking about the movie since you saw it?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Okay. I want to know what your take on Elephant was the first time you saw it.
The first time I saw it is well, I should have talked about it. He's seen it before, and always said good. I'd always said good things about it.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was just a fun watch. I remember I think it's one of those movies that you're like just instantly impressed by. You know,
Yeah.
like it just makes
Yeah.
it. And
Big
not
time.
in like so much as like. I guess in terms of it, I think it's a movie that easily makes an impression on you. You know.
Mhm.
And that's how I felt very impressioned by this movie. And sure, it's provocative. I think in the way it's trying. It achieves its goal.
Yeah.
And yeah, long takes are just fun. You know, just from a craft
Yeah.
level to
Wow.
just watch and just even the idea too of like filmmaking, and they like really gave themselves like a strict like etiquette and language, you know, to communicate this visually. You know what I'm saying? Which is it's just very something that is not just that there's not just impressionable but inspiring. You know, so that's
You mean it's like consistent, kind of?
Yeah.
I agree.
That's a good point because we were
Yeah.
talking about like just the way it portrays violence. It's like it's a slow
matter of fact.
Yes, you know, like if it would change like the way it's showing these people getting killed, it would like it fuck up the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I agree.
It
was
it almost presents like the violence as just like another part of life.
Yeah, it's like the style of editing didn't really change from
Exactly.
beginning like through the entire movie. There's just like a few instances, but it was very consistent.
There isn't even like a lot of like direct violence in a way. it's kind of like the violence is going
Yeah,
on.
a lot of it was
even
off
if
camera. Yeah.
a lot of it isn't too graphic, even though there are a few scenes like when the GSA kid gets shot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, just like the first scene where he walks into the library, you see the girl get shot and she's kind of in the frame, but it's not like some Quentin Tarantino like Django Unchained type of like
Yeah, she
Dude.
goes through
Gunshot,
like
blow
3
up.
levels
Yeah,
of
no.
bookshelves.
It's just like you said. It's very matter of fact. It desensitizes you from the violence, kind of.
A little bit.
You know?
I think it's they didn't even really need to show the violence because it's like knowing that stuff like that already happens, like it adds that extra weight.
Exactly.
To it, you know.
That was the thing I was trying to remember from the Roger Ebert review. He says that the movie does a good job of like not glorifying the violence.
Yeah.
And that's important to it because Roger Ebert said in his review too, like, he doesn't think this movie would inspire anyone to like do the acts because it almost tries to make the acts seem boring.
Yeah.
But then like
inconsequential in the long
Yeah.
run.
ironically, I guess there was like a kid like 2 years after the movie came out who like saw Elephant and like 2 weeks later like
Did
kind of like
something.
Whoa.
I don't know if it was because of Elephant, but I mean it probably didn't help.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
But-
I'm sure he was just really into school shootings and he wanted to see a school shooting movie.
It's not just like it's not Elephant's fault, but
It sounds like a kid who's gonna do it anyways.
yeah, and he had like a fucked up life and stuff, but no, it's very like a graceful way of portraying like a shitty incident.
Yeah. I was like throughout the whole thing, I was just very like almost nodding my head. It was like they made a lot of choices in this movie that I just really agreed with, and like or when I realized the choice they made, I was like, well, that's really smart, and I agree with that decision.
When we stopped watching it, it was funny because you're like, I think I agreed with every choice they made.
Yeah.
It's very down to earth.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's what's interesting about this one and even Last Days is that in these long takes, every time it cuts, it feels impactful in terms of it's a cut. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is to me I always find interesting.
Yeah. Brings a greater importance because it doesn't happen as often.
To the cut, but I guess also it's most scenes take up one take. So by every time there's a cut,
yeah.
it's just a new scene. So that might be
Okay.
it as well.
Do you view the movie kind of as like a parable or something that has more of like a moral, or do you view it more as like it's literally just like a movie with events that happen?
No, yeah, I don't feel it to be
I'd have
like
to think about that.
a moralist type of tale.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that it's absent of lessons to be taken from it, but that's not the point of it. you
Okay.
know?
You think it's more you watch, you experience it.
Yeah. That being said, especially on this time around, I couldn't help but not think about not just this movie or even biopics, but just I guess film in general, and how, in a sense, exploitative it is. I was really thinking this time around about, particularly performance, and how like. I was talking to my girlfriend about like for me if I were asked to be an actor, it'd be way easier for me just like actually play a character instead of be myself. But first she's like, the easiest character for me to ever play would just be myself. 'Cause
Yeah.
some people
You
are
don't have to
people,
try.
people are different, right? Me, I don't know. I guess if I was just myself, I just feel like I just think, oh, this is myself. It's not a character, so if they don't like the character, they don't like me. Whatever. shit. But essentially, like a lot of times, like the whole point of directing is to get people to feel like themselves on camera, right?
Right.
Which to me is feels weird. And then I was just thinking about that in connection to like the exploitative nature of. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. But in Last Days, at the end, like, although these events were inspired by Kurt Cobain, this is fictional and just coincidence to whatever happened, right?
The lawsuit term.
Yeah. And I don't know, especially the movie like this. Like I was just, when we were watching it on Friday, I was like, I wonder if probably not, but any like the people from like that were in Columbine, check
What they
this
thought
movie.
of it?
Yeah, what they thought of this movie.
It's interesting
This
that you say
film.
it's like you're thinking of like the exploitive nature of film because a lot of the actors in here were like high school students.
Yeah,
They were,
really
like,
was. Yeah,
non-professional.
just like all
So in a
non-actors.
way, like probably like the kid who takes pictures, he probably was a photographer or something.
Yeah, you could tell, especially in the way he's just agitating the film in the
And
canister.
yeah, and it's like these people aren't really characters. These are just like everyday people, you know.
And yeah.
And in a way, like there isn't like really character growth in the movie. You're exploiting the movie's like an exploitation of their everyday life.
Yeah.
You know,
the closest character development would be like the dad. Like
Yeah.
he started out as kind of like
Yeah,
a bum,
you
and
know?
by the end, he's like seems like he has a change of heart because his son could potentially be dead. You know.
a wake up call. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. The movie is exploitive, but like in a purposeful way.
I agree.
Like,
yeah.
how would you like define the purpose? Then?
Like, why do I think it's exploitive?
No. Because like, I agree with you that it feels like purposeful, but
Mhm.
like I wouldn't be able to articulate like the purpose.
Okay, so what I think I read a little bit about the title a while back, and then it kind of like imprinted on the way I thought about the movie. And I told you guys the other day, but
Yeah.
the whole like parable of the elephant, where like three people who can't see it are trying to figure out like what it is. In a way, I kind of see the movie as like a parable on like, I guess you could say like gun violence, but in a way, it's just like violence,
Traumatic.
and, like,
I feel like traumatic incidents
just
at
like
large.
being like fucked up in the head or something.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
something like that. And through like the parable of the elephant, it's like, what causes this? And I really think it complements the way the movie's shot as well, because there's several scenes that kind of go back on each other from different angles. You know? And then I feel that's kind of like it's like showing you like the three different men's perspective on it. And it's like, I just think that's cool because like there's that part where he's taking the picture of the blonde dude and we see it from like the blonde dude's angle, then we see it from the photographer's point of view, and then we see it where we follow like the girl running.
Right.
And in a way that's like a metaphor for like all the other themes in the movie where it's like they talk about like being gay or like watching like Hitler on TV
Yeah.
or getting bullied. And it's like, what's the cause of violence? And it's based on your perspective kind of.
Okay, I got
You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like maybe the parents
Makes
think
sense.
like they come home and they see like this Hitler video playing and they're like, oh, it's because they were Nazis.
right.
You know? Or it's like kids in class see the kid getting picked on. It's like, oh, he did this because he got bullied. You know?
Interesting.
But it's not just like the whole like everyone's ignorant about the situation. You know? I don't know if that made sense. Did that not?
No, yeah,
did
I
it
understand.
Make a little
like,
bit of sense.
I guess I understand that in terms of the idea of perspective and the way it plays with perspective, because like sure we see the same scenarios from different
Points of view.
angles, but I wouldn't even call it a point of view, like a different angle, because each one is still objective to the character. You don't really feel like you're in their headspace when we're following them. You know, we're kind of just following. Like
It's like floating.
Our eyes have drifted to them now.
Right.
But yeah, I get that, I guess. Yeah, and I was actually gonna bring that up as like in terms of like the movie. Like I said this before, but like I don't know if it really creates like the sort of stereotype, or at least like puts it into like a distinct like category of like the reasons. Like I feel like I like, you know, it's kind of like now the common knowledge of things that might lead to people becoming school shooters.
Right,
You know?
yeah, but
violent video games.
Back then, it wasn't
You
such
know,
a
not
stereotype.
Nazi stuff, homosexuality, whatever. You know, like.
But the movie's great for its time because it was released like 4 years after Columbine.
Yeah, it was pretty quick,
It's
yeah.
so interesting that it was made so recently. You know, like, in a lot of situations where that happens, like I guess, you know, a conversation of it, does it feel in bad taste or not? You know, being so. Like imagine someone made a Sandy Hook movie like a few years ago.
Yeah,
That'd
that'd be
like,
brutal. There's a guy who made a
yeah.
Sandy Hook game, and that
That's
guy.
Oh
fucking
yeah,
weird.
I think you told me about that.
Yeah, I did. Like that dude got a lot of flack, a fuckload of flack.
I don't know if Sandy Hook you could do it.
No, because
It'd
it's like
be
little,
super
it's like little kids, so
kids.
it's harder. Yeah, you can't
And
really
then-
get away with that.
Just like on a production angle, that would be a nightmare.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Like,
I don't even know.
Kids would probably get traumatized
Easily,
by that shit.
easily. Yeah, don't do that. Don't make a Sandy Hook movie.
No.
It's not gonna turn out well.
This movie though, it's very just like nothing happens. Like nothing happens in this movie really.
It's what?
No, something
I
does
mean,
happen.
yeah.
Something does happen.
Yes, but it's
Like the movie doesn't present it as something's happening.
Yeah,
That's
I
how it
guess
feels.
it's not hitting you over the head with, all right, something's happening now.
Yeah.
But I would say something
okay.
happened.
If you were to tell someone to watch this movie, how would you?
It's a movie where it's just a bunch of high schoolers, nothing happens.
That's how you have to describe it because okay,
That's a good way to describe it
the-
to somebody who hasn't
here's
seen
the
it.
problem
Yeah.
because I wanted when I first met Norby, I wanted to tell him about this movie, and I wanted him to watch it, but I didn't know how to tell him how to watch it, or like really want him to. I didn't know how to, I guess,
How to
stir
sell
up.
it, yeah.
Yes, because I didn't want to spoil it for him.
Yeah.
But that's the reason people watch this movie.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Because they had it spoiled.
and
Makes
so
sense.
it's like, if someone were to ask me what it's about, I'd say it's just like you said, high schoolers doing nothing. But do you think Gus Van Sant wanted people to go into this movie knowing what it was going to be about?
I think it's meant to have the prerequisite of knowing what this
Okay.
film is about.
Because even like the trailer kind of like gives you like a hint of it.
Yeah, it would be better if they kept it a secret.
You think it'd be better if they kept it a secret?
Yeah, they just didn't tell anybody. I mean, I like stuff like that. I like
But
going
like
in,
that's why I like
recognizing-
Vox Lux, because that's how. You
Yeah,
know.
I had no
Thank
idea
you.
what
I was
Vox
going to
Lux-
say
yeah.
thank you for not telling us how that started.
Yeah.
Because I was subversion on a massive
Yeah,
scale.
no, for real.
I was
All right,
like, what the fuck?
We'll get there. We'll get there.
But yeah, it's like this movie's like I don't want to tell you what it's about, but then if I don't tell you what it's about, you're not gonna want to
Yeah,
watch
exactly.
it. You know?
Right, yeah.
That is a very tough sell.
I mean, when you brought up that Hitler scene, I almost forgot about that. That scene is like very meta.
I forgot about
Yeah.
it
Because it's like there was like,
until
oh,
I
isn't that
watched
that
the second time.
They're all like, oh, is that Hitler guy? And like we'd basically going like, oh, isn't that like Darren Klebold or whatever?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the same thing. It's like very similar.
Yeah, it's funny how like the people watching it are like
Doing what we're doing, like it's very meta.
we're doing
Yeah.
what we're doing what they're doing.
I wonder if that was on purpose or not.
It's such it just feels like such an interesting time, like, you know, where like things feel like a hand and a foot away in terms of the internet being able to purchase a gun or
Yeah, yeah.
learning about shit.
That was a
But
little dated.
Still like far enough removed where like I don't know, high school, like the high school there feels different than high school I feel
Oh,
like
yeah,
that we went
100%,
to.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Very different.
Oh yeah, I like the vibe of it though because
It
I don't really
feels-
care. I don't like the aesthetic of like smartphone
Yeah.
culture.
Me neither,
It-
yeah,
me
it's-
neither,
And
like-
this is like
gross,
just
yeah.
before that in a way,
Yeah, and
like-
that's why I love it. Yeah.
you know. And
Yeah,
it's
youth
like
culture is definitely at its like most cool looking before smartphones.
this is like at the this is like at the death of like finding your own way to entertain yourself.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
and that's why. So I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but
Don't
actually,
worry about
yeah.
it.
Oh, okay. Well,
The movie's pretentious. I mean,
I know.
okay
I
to
was
be
just
pretentious about it.
I was gonna bring a Vox Lux, so that's why I like that movie because it kind of like. All right, again, getting ahead of myself. So
oh, it goes through them kind of.
yeah, but in terms of, I feel like that movie views the transition from the '90s to the 2000s a way a lot of people view the '60s to the '70s in terms of this loss of
Mm.
innocence. That's how like I feel like that movie's presenting it in terms of
Kinda.
this new age, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's how. But this and going back to Elephant, you know, like the whole Columbine incident, like, you know, feels like the catalyst for a lot of things in terms
Oh,
of
yeah.
like people be like, oh, okay,
Because Columbine wasn't like the
Thing-
first school shooting.
No,
It was the first big one.
yeah.
yeah.
And this wasn't like the first movie made on Columbine either. There was
was
the
it?
fucking Michael Moore
The
movie.
Bowling for Columbine. Have you
I've-
seen that?
I watched the like first 50 minutes and then I got bored because it's really political too,
Yeah. Oh,
and
gotcha.
it's kind of like
Michael-
a lot of people like it, but like Michael Moore, he's big into politics, and he really like it oozes,
Yeah.
you know, and it kind of like it just got boring for me.
Anytime I watch a Michael Moore movie, it feels like he didn't actually have an angle, but he found a group that had an angle, and then just makes the movie exactly for them. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
nice.
Yeah, I haven't seen Fahrenheit 9/11, but people say that's like one of his best films. And the funny thing was, Elephant won the Palm. So, Bowling for Columbine won like the Academy Award for Best Documentary, like whatever year it came out, like 2003.
Yeah.
Then Elephant won the Palme d'Or at Cannes in 2003, and then Fahrenheit 9/11 won the Palme d'Or the next year.
Oh, really?
Wow.
And Fahrenheit 9/11 is literally like a political like jab, kind of. Whether or not like I haven't seen it,
I mean, neither.
but
I haven't seen it in a long time.
it
But-
won the Palme d'Or over Old Boy.
Yeah.
What?
I know. That's fucking.
Must be. I mean,
yeah.
It must be good. I guess.
It better be.
Maybe back to Elephant.
Yeah.
How'd you guys feel about like the sound design?
Yeah, I really picked up on it this time. There's just like very like subtle screeches and shit, and it's so
Yeah, more
eerie.
more towards the shooting.
It is so
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah, just like ethereal, just like to me it feels like the sound of existential dread.
Yes,
Yeah, I agree.
yes,
Yeah.
because it's like it's like there and you don't want to acknowledge it, but it's not even like really present.
It's the
It's just like
in the room.
Yeah, it's the elephant in the room, but the elephant's like super small, you know?
Yeah.
Is that what you guys thought like the title was? Really quick.
I actually didn't think about it at all. I just thought it
Okay.
was a really cool title.
Yeah, that is a cool title, you know?
Yeah.
That's a good title even if it didn't mean anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was like just cool.
If it just meant like that. I
Like
I like just that scene where he's playing the piano and there's actually an elephant in the room
Yeah, yeah.
on the wall. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Oh no, that I thought about the title like that, but we were talking about this, but I also think of the title like in terms of, like, you know how elephants like have like they're known like they don't forget anything.
Yeah,
You know, in
yeah.
terms of depicting this incident that has not been
Oh,
forgotten.
That's
gotcha.
cool.
You know.
That's a very good. See, no one talks about most of the angles I've seen it from are like kind of the way I think about it, and kind of like the elephant in the room. And I've never really heard anyone talk about it like
Yeah,
that.
me neither.
And I think that's very interesting because like Columbine's kind of like a 9/11 type of thing, even though it's not as massive.
Yeah.
Where it's just like people who were alive back then, you can kind of ask them like, "Do you remember hearing about Columbine?" And they'll tell you like where they were and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's really eerie, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I have to talk to my parents about it. I wonder if they remember.
It's like a big 9/11 thing.
Yeah.
Like I like asking people from that time, like, what were you doing when like
Yeah,
you heard
exactly.
about it?
Me too.
It's really creepy.
That's why. Again, that's why 9/11. I mean, Vox Lux is cool because those are like two like pivotal moments.
It all goes through all of them, you know.
Yeah, I was impressed by. All right, we'll get to
Yeah.
Vox Lux. I'm just not
Sorry.
getting into that.
But what was I gonna say about Columbine or I don't know. I'll keep it short
Sure,
as
sure.
I can. But it just reminds me of this tangent. I was reading in my psychology textbook about like especially like global traumatic incidents like Columbine or 9/11, and how it instills this memory in people that like they can tell you what they were doing or where they were when they heard about the shit, right? The funny thing is though that like studies show that a lot of the stuff they say is actually false or incorrect. That's not what they were doing, but it feels so real to them because like this moment, like I don't know, for some reason inspires people to like remember it. You know what I
It's a
mean?
false memory.
Yeah.
It's like the Mandela effect kind of.
Yeah, no,
sort
it
of.
really-
It isn't, but it's like that where it's like you just like
you
you
ever-
remember the feeling.
Do you ever wonder how many people are like sharing a memory and it's complete bullshit?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be sharing a memory and like, what, is this memory real? I have no idea. but I'm
That's
sharing
me like
it,
half the
fucking
time.
sharing
I
it.
see it.
You put this thing on your Instagram a while back.
Which one?
It's like your memories are your future. The present is the future remembering you.
Yeah, something like that.
I
Or
don't-
no, it was something like no, it was like I forget how it went. It was like, oh, your future self is watching you right now.
The present is the future.
No, I forget how
It was
went.
something about memory.
Yeah, it was. I remember.
The present is being watched by the future you.
I think it's literally just like your future self is watching you right now.
It's like your
think it's
present.
I
present-
could
the
pull it
pre-
up.
the
I
pre-
could pull it up.
The present is
pull it
how
up. I'll
the
pull it up.
present is how your future. This isn't what it said, but it's like the present is how your future self is perceiving your memories. So,
No,
like, you're
that's not it. That's not it. I'll show you. That's not it.
But like if you think about it, like
But yeah, I like that concept a lot. I like.
How do you feel
memories.
like that
I memories a
relates
lot.
to like Elephant or Columbine then in terms of how it how like
I don't see
but
Elephant as being like more like a memory thing. It's definitely like an account, but I feel like they were definitely trying to recreate like reality as much as they could.
yeah,
you know?
because I guess it does feel very present. It doesn't feel like nostalgic feels like too much of a positive connotation, but it doesn't feel like it's recalling on something. I guess
Yeah, here it is. Your future self is watching you right now through your memories.
there we go.
Yeah.
I told you memory was
Yeah.
in there.
I really like the way I edited this story.
What song do you use?
It's a vaporwave song from this game called Data Wing. I really like that game. It's like retarded how much I like that game. I
Wait.
beat it, and once you beat it, you can't restart the game. I just want to play it
What
over
the-
again.
Wait,
I
why
deleted the game
not?
and re-downloaded it, and it's like, nope, you still beat the game, dude. I'm like,
That
cocksucker.
sucks.
Yeah. So, if you play Data Wing, really cool. If you like vaporwave, it's like weird arrow racing game. All right, but Elephant. Yeah, man. I every time I think of this movie, I just think about the editing a lot. Like the editing really impressed me, especially with the shots. Like it's very simple editing, but like the sound design was really just like
It was
really
cool.
interesting, like really interesting choices. I like you said, it was like very ethereal. Like it's very like you kind of hear like screeching and like some laughter and stuff. It's almost like memories, like how memories sound.
It almost reminds me of like if a kid ever like kind of scraped his shoe on the hall.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's like
Yeah.
it makes that little screech noise.
Yeah.
And when I was saying this too, like for whatever reason, the movie really reminds me of like high school, even though my high school didn't really look like this.
Yeah.
Just like those shots of like people walking through the halls.
Such a high school thing, to just
You
be,
know?
like
Mhm.
just in this like closed space around people for 8 hours a day. I don't know. It feels so unique now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's weird.
Did
I
I think the movie got a little bit funnier after the midpoint.
funnier.
That sounds fucked up.
No,
but
but
but like they make. I think there's like more jokes after the midpoint.
it's I feel like it feels wrong to call this movie self-serious. Like it just feels like
yeah.
because it's not telling you with like this type of urgency. It's just kind of like letting it unfold.
Yeah.
I remember there being a joke, but I don't remember what the
There's,
joke was.
I just think Michelle Run's funny.
We kept looking at each other. She's just kind of she's kind of like the goofy girl
Yeah,
character.
wait, who's
Yeah.
your favorite character from the movie?
Oh, fuck.
I really like Elias, the blonde kid. I just like the way he looks.
Yeah, I like the way it looks
Yeah,
too. Like
me
he
too.
reminds me of like.
When I first watched the movie, I thought that he was gonna be the shooter at first.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what I thought.
I think. But he's
The school shooters kind of got like
It's funny that they almost feel like an
Interesting
afterthought, like or I don't know.
kinda. Yeah, I think that's like the point though too.
Yeah.
They're not glorifying the violence. They're not glorifying these guys.
Yeah,
it's not like they're making them look
Like,
cool. you
they're
know?
like the
Yeah.
last characters that are introduced.
you know.
I actually like that. Yeah,
Yeah, but the blonde guy is for sure like.
I like the blonde
Yeah.
guy.
I like
cool.
I like Michelle and Benny.
Oh yeah, Benny was
Benny,
tight.
he
Yeah,
just,
Benny's
like,
like
walks
a.
around.
He has
Yeah.
like no lines. Literally, he's just like walking through like a fucking pimp.
Yeah.
Just like beast mode.
He helps that girl get out of the building.
Yeah. I like how he helps her get out, and then he doesn't even leave. He's just like he goes back
He just
inside,
and then
he creeps back
he
inside.
dies.
Yeah, he does.
You know?
Poor guy.
They did him dirty.
I like the photographer.
Yeah. Oh wait.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah, I
cool
love the
character, too.
photographer. But I'm just jealous of his
It's
life.
so funny too, because
I
like
want one of
these
these.
people
you want his
have-
life.
Yeah, like I wish my high school had a dark room. Like imagine
That'd be
getting
crazy.
free prints and
That'd
free
be really
developing.
cool. Yeah.
And just I always just think about it too, like film was probably so much cheaper, and it wasn't
Yeah.
such a big deal. You could just get
I
film.
thought
and
his
shoot.
fucking dude, his fork, like
he had
wrist
the
thing was
fork
so
wristband
cool.
was cool.
His wristband was literally like
Fuck.
a,
It
a
felt
fork
so
that
like
was bent around
90s,
his wrist. Yeah.
2000s,
Oh
and
my
I
I was like,
loved
that's
it.
such a like an art kid thing.
It's
to
like a
do.
punk,
Yeah.
punk
Yeah.
rock type
punk
of thing.
rock art kid type of thing, and he had all these rings and shit.
I like how
He's a
like
cool, pretty interesting character.
I thought that he was gonna be a shooter too, and he was gonna be taking pictures of his victims.
Dude, I like how when the shooters come in the library, he's just taking pictures.
Yeah.
he takes a picture of
Right
him before they
before.
kill him.
Yeah. Fucking
They don't.
crazy.
Does he?
I'm pretty sure they kill him.
Oh, okay.
That's like the ideal way to die as like an art student or like a film
You take a
student.
picture
Yeah,
of the
take a picture
person
of
that kills you.
killing you. Like no
Yeah.
no hesitation, no fears. Like I'm gonna fucking shoot this guy. I'm gonna shoot him back.
It's crazy how these characters don't really have any type of like growth. We just like them.
Yeah.
We like them because like we recognize what type of person that was.
Yeah. I don't like the
Oh.
girls so much. Like I would never hang out
The
with those
girls,
but they're
though,
like
but you
kind of
understand
quirky, though.
them.
Yeah. They're really like they're really fun to like watch.
They're fun to watch. You wouldn't
Yeah.
want to be their friend or
Yeah.
anything.
No, but they're really fun to watch. I liked watching them.
So I remember like, not the last time I watched it before this, but the time before that, I thought their dialogue was kind of bad, but then
It's
the
okay.
last two times
Yeah.
I've seen it, I didn't like. It didn't bother me. I just thought it was like a little too stereotypical at some points.
Yeah.
Where it's like it really went overboard with like, okay, these are like the sort of cool girls in a clique that hang out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
None-
It didn't bother me this
None
time.
of the deliveries really bothered me. The dialogue was like it didn't like stand out as being great dialogue, but it also like it worked. It worked.
It got
for,
the
like,
point across.
Yeah, it was like those some of those dialogue options are like realistic enough. I could see that happening.
I
in
like
real
how
life.
they're bulimic too.
Yeah, that part. That part
That's
really.
my favorite
that's a
part.
super high school type
Yeah.
of thing,
That part was funny.
And that I don't know how big bulimia is now,
Yeah.
But back then, that was like a thing.
they're
yeah,
going
That,
through,
that
like,
was
the-
definitely a
it,
thing. You know?
it felt so true to life at that moment.
They'd like eat lunch and then like go and like stick their finger like in their mouth to make themselves
Yeah,
throw
it's
up,
funny
you know?
that they don't even like acknowledge it. It's like you can. It implies that they do that on like a
It's
daily
just
basis.
like-
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
you know?
like the way you watch athletes right before they do whatever they're about to do. That's because like they're just like they're chilling, just talking about whatever.
Yeah.
Then they go and do the deed, and but like like nothing. It's
That's
funny.
why the characters say that again. It's like they do it without having to talk about
it implies that they do it on a daily basis.
That's why we
yeah.
like the characters
Yeah, I agree.
because they feel very like
They're already like lived in.
Yes, you know?
They're not trying to establish anything.
no, and that's why you don't have to really have them like grow or anything.
Yeah, that's
like,
why I like stuff like that. I like it when you just like you can really feel the character. You don't need it.
It's it's like a humanistic movie almost.
Yeah.
Where it's like even though like it really doesn't come off as like having a point. It's like just like you like these people because they're humans.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. I like how it's not even trying to like warn you about
No,
anything. It's like it's showing
no.
it very matter of factly. It's like this is like kind of like how life is sometimes.
It's just like bad shit happens one day.
yeah. Yeah, it was just
It's a
some
bad day at
shit.
school.
What do you
Yeah,
thi-
this is a
what do
very
you-
bad day at school.
What do you think of the ending scene?
That's how I'd sell the movie. Bad day.
There's no point. It's just we wanted to make a really bad day at high school.
The movie's so like it honestly had to be easy to pitch this movie to people because it's like we're gonna make a movie where we record the kids walking around all day and then at the end these kids come up and shoot the school up.
Yeah, it sounds pretty simple.
Well, I guess
You know?
yeah,
Like,
like,
in theory-
self-explanatory to like for a budget. Or
It's
like,
so simple, and we were talking about that the
Yeah.
other day where it's like the simple movies are the ones that really kind of are like the most profound in a way.
Yeah.
They say
know?
that about a lot of things. I was listening to this one Kanye interview where he talks about that, where like he used to be really into like really elaborate production and all that shit, but then as he continued, he found himself more in tune with simpler things, and because he said that like simplicity is easy to build ideas upon for
Right.
for the listener,
Yeah.
viewer, whatever. When it's complex, you're kind of just breaking down theirs. But he felt it was more fulfilling when you can add your own to it.
Right.
Everyone gets like a universal type of. Everyone can understand.
They got
it.
a baseline to
You know?
to understand.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And what do you think people who here's what I was gonna say. What do you think of the actual like ending sequence? Because it's like that tracking shot of him going into the freezer and
okay. Yeah.
So I know
the final scene.
you and me we kind of talked about where it's like the kid probably should have been freaking out a little more.
yeah, that's
He
the
wouldn't
only-
just be
yeah,
like,
that's
"No,
the only-
dude, don't kill me."
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude, don't kill me.
That's the only time where the acting kind of was like, all right.
That's I was like, I
But
feel like they could have.
I really like how the camera kind of like follows him and pushes in, and then as he starts doing the eeny meeny miny mo thing, it starts to pull away to a point where you can't really tell who he ended on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I just think it's cool.
Yeah, I like how
cool
dark that
choice.
is too. Like
Yeah.
there's no hope.
Who's
for
gonna
those
go
kids.
first? You know.
Yeah, I really enjoy how that ends because like it feels like it's missing the actual conclusion,
Yeah.
of the end of the
Yeah.
incident,
Yeah.
and in the sense that it implies that like not just about Columbine and the conversation of Columbine, but how this incident we pull out because we're not done with it. It just kind of
Mhm.
stays in
Oh, that's interesting.
in
Okay, I see what you're
the
saying.
world.
Yeah.
But,
What do you mean? Sorry.
In terms
Like
of
the- like
school
the mo-
shootings continue
yeah.
to happen, we continue to
Oh,
talk or at least
okay.
think about Columbine in the way that trench coats are, become
Points at
synonymous
me.
with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I like
like
too how
the
it's
ending.
I like how it's the guy who like threw the shit at him earlier.
Yeah.
It's kind of makes it like morally
Or
ambiguous.
did he actually throw it, or I thought it was his friend who threw it, but he was just
He was complicit
egging
in
him
the
on.
act.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good.
And he's
good
just kind
ending.
of like the jock.
And I like how they show that part, but usually in a movie they show like, and it's supposed to be like, be careful who you interact with or talk with, right? They might, But
Yeah.
this one kind of shows it, and like you move on from it,
Right.
It is very matter of fact.
Yeah.
I like how it cuts straight back to the sky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That part really
so
impressed me. That's a
First,
good
I
cut.
think the first time I saw it, I was expecting like there to be a scene where he kills himself, and
Yeah.
I actually love that there isn't,
Yeah, me too.
Mhm.
because like, probably like he did, but then you also don't know,
Right.
and you don't know like which one of them dies first. It's just like, it leaves you with like a weird feeling in your stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
'Cause-
like it so much. Like,
Yeah,
it
no,
leaves
it's
such
great.
it leaves in such a good way.
It's
Yeah.
amazing, it's super artistic.
Yeah.
I feel like it is artistic, but I think it's just like Like that's how you do the ending. Because like you feel something. You know,
Yeah.
it's changed your emotional state in the sense of like at least physically I felt different. You know.
Puts you in a mood.
Yeah. I bet you they knew about that choice too. They're like, yeah, we're ending it in like a really like sudden way.
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it feels deliberate or intentional.
Yeah, it's
And if
and right
not,
back to that
that's
sky
great.
too, because like looking at skies, like I only look at skies when I'm
Oh, it
really
was
thinking about
great.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It
sky.
was great.
it's like I'm glad they provided me a sky to look at after watching this
Sky
movie.
is just a non-reflective mirror. You know, you look
Yeah.
in the sky to think.
It's the sky is something very simple, yet it can be drawn into something very complex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
It's very like self-reflective to look at a sky.
And it's like that's the same thing as like this incident, because the movie's presented in a very simple way, yet it's very complex.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it like mirrors the like you said mirrors the sky.
Dude, I just really like that the sky's turquoise. I
It
have
looks-
no
it-
fucking
yeah.
idea why they did that, but
It's
I'm
like
so
yeah,
glad
some
they
looks
like
did it.
good,
like
you
bleach
know?
bypass type of stuff. You know.
Yeah, it's like
this is like a movie I can watch a lot.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but like I've seen it like 5 times. I really like this movie.
Yeah.
I'd like to make movies that are like this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Where it's just very straightforward, and like
Like this is one of those like kind of I don't want to say art movies, but like really like movies that's like really fun. Like it's just really really good.
It's like a
Solid. It's
filmmaker's
just really
type
solid.
of-
Yeah.
filmmakers movies like a bad way to say it, but it's like
That's a good way to describe
It's,
it.
it's
though.
one
not
you
a-
can really appreciate as a film.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Be,
agree.
it's not like the movie you take like your friends to see at the drive-in. You know,
Yeah, no. It'd be cool to see in a theater though.
I'd love to see it in
Yeah.
a theater.
Me too.
You know, it's like a movie made to go to con,
Mm-hmm.
kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's a
I see that.
festival
Yeah,
movie.
definitely.
Yeah. Where it's like all the filmmakers come to bring in their art.
It's a real like experiential thing too.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
that must be a fun environment. You know, like in terms of going to the premiere of that movie.
Yeah.
I agree.
This was like a movie after I saw it where I wanted to like see all the interviews and shit.
Yeah, read all about it.
I just want to like hear people's takes on it, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because
I
it
got
doesn't.
I got a video saved actually. I was waiting
Really?
to watch this movie so I
Oh,
could finally
okay.
watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really give you any explanations.
No.
It's just very like upfront to the point.
Yeah, like this is a movie like I don't even want an explanation on it, you know.
No,
I
you know?
just like the experience a lot.
And there's just like, there's some great like camera work,
Yeah.
just all the way through.
Oh yeah, when I was watching it this last time, I kept on thinking, you know, the Steadicam rig is already fairly, you know, heavy or whatever, but then also they were shooting on the film cameras, so much larger, much heavier, and shit like that.
Huh.
But then this guy's literally walking the whole school, and this is not a small school,
No.
up the stairs and shit. He must have been in great shape. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I
The
like how
Steadicam
it was
operator.
made in like a real high school too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was. It
helps.
wasn't.
Definitely
and
necessarily-
helps.
yeah, it was like it felt like obviously some parts probably weren't, but a majority of it really did feel like natural light.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
Norby was talking about this, you know, in terms of the way it
The camera
or
settings.
aperture racks,
Yeah.
you know, and how it kind of like it doesn't just like automatically follow the way that light should be exposed, but it kind of like takes a moment for the like in the sense of a way an eye kind of slowly
Oh,
adjusts.
yeah.
that's cool.
You know,
That's like the lenses they were using.
I mean, it's just lenses in general, you
Oh,
know, in the way
no.
that.
It didn't feel like they were changing it too much though throughout those tracking shots. Like
Yeah,
I liked how dark it was inside the high school. Like I'm sure it was like actually like,
Yeah.
really bright in there, but it was just dark in there because
yeah, dark to
It
the,
looks
the
cool.
camera. Yeah,
dark to the
Yeah.
camera. And I was like, I liked how that looked because it's like it's showing high schools like this really like bizarre like alien. Like,
I
I've never
really-
seen high
I
school
really
like that.
There
ever.
Yeah.
are some.
Yeah.
Such a cool choice.
Exactly.
It's like almost
There's-
like it's like underground.
You never
It's fucking
see an
crazy.
interior school classroom look that way.
Yeah,
There's a
it's really
lot of
bizarre.
There's a lot of like the hallway scenes though where the lights are like off.
Yeah, there's a few in there.
Yeah, that. Yeah,
Which is kind of weird because. Well, in my middle school there was something kind of like that. Like the main hallway in my middle school, the lights were always off. But like, it's just weird to see in a high school, I guess.
I feel like that was probably more of a production thing, and maybe
You
I'm just
think
and then
so?
I also appreciate this movie more just because I shot something that took place mostly in a classroom, so I understand how difficult it is to
Yeah.
make an interior with like 3 rows of headlights, try to make it look dynamic. You know?
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
movie does a great job, and they probably just did that because it probably looked better with the lights off. You know?
Yeah, that's fair. No, that's cool. Whether or not that's like, it'd be interesting if that was the way they actually did that at the high school. But even if it wasn't, I like some of the slow motion shots.
Well, yeah, that's something to bring up too of how much it's used. You
So
know?
how like do they do that? Because like,
You know, well, like it
so
was,
say the scene with the dog. So it's like a tracking shot of like the blonde kid walking out of the school, and then when he goes to like wave his hand up to the dog, it's slow motion.
Yeah, and then it goes back to normal.
Yeah, how do
It's-
they do that?
Well, the whole take, the whole shot is shot at like 120 frames per second.
Oh, there you go.
And you could
Yeah.
kind of tell, especially in terms of like the motion blur and stuff like that. And like you ever watch something that's like a super high frame rate and it looks
Looks more realistic.
yeah like there's just no motion blur. It just feels too doesn't feel cinematic in
Okay.
terms of like the normal way like a person should look while moving across the screen. It feels hyper, if that makes sense.
Is it like the Chunking Express thing?
No.
Is it like the action movie thing?
No.
It's like, no, it's like
No.
if you
No,
ever have
it's
you ever been
just-
at like your friend's house and it's like why do they look so weird on the TV?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like,
Maybe.
I've
When
had a
I
few
go to
experiences
yeah,
like
when
that.
I go to people when they go to the bathroom, I change the TV because I can't stand it. But things are just too like you know how HD sometimes like it's just too crisp.
Oh, okay.
Imagine that,
yeah.
but like at 120 frames per second. This is just
Oh,
too
Jesus
crisp.
Christ.
You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And so like you could kind of tell that some of it is shot like that, and then at the moments they wanted to slow down, then you go
back to
you play it from whatever speed it was played at to going back to playing at 24 frames a second.
Interesting.
Is that
Yeah.
just
So-
an editing thing?
yeah.
Well, I feel like this was probably cut on film.
It
But
was
if
it was made on film.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was
Yeah.
shot on film. They said it could be shot on film, but then scanned digitally, and they cut digitally
I saw there's a video of Gus Van Sant like editing it.
on like a Moviola type.
Yeah,
of thing?
he was like with the it looks like a sewing machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Let's see. Then that's interesting because that's probably also why this movie didn't have a wide release, because then you'd have to have a special projector, at least like an active projectionist that was there playing the movie at 120 frames when it
Jesus
needed to, and then
Christ.
going back to 24 when it needed to.
Christ.
Well,
Yeah.
then couldn't it be scanned though?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh,
But you
okay.
just said it was he
There's a video out there of him like sitting at like the editing booth.
I mean, you could also
So-
do it in camera where like for Donnie Darko they did it where like they would shoot parts of it at 24 and then the slow motion parts, and then they just ramp up the
crank.
yeah,
right?
the thing.
Yeah, that's old
to
school.
120. I think there's a way to do it. It was at the point where they could like kind of like motorize it, but yeah, the crank's cool.
I'll try to find the video
For sure, yeah.
because
Dude, I bet you the dude with like the best crank arm on the crew is like that's like an athlete almost, you know? Like that's like
That's the
very
Steadicam
performative,
operator. That's the
yeah.
Steadicam operator. Because imagine you got to get the shot, but you got to like sprint for like half the takes or
Yeah.
whatever shit. Because a lot of times Steadicam is supposed to be gliding and
Oh,
shit, you
Jesus
know.
Christ.
And then up the stairs or wherever, like I think of like The Shining, you got to go through the whole
Yeah.
maze,
Holy
you know.
shit.
You're like, sheesh.
like goddamn.
And then
Stanley Kubrick.
the funny thing is like you could be a Steadicam operator doing all this work and shit like that, and then you talk to the DP or director and like they don't really know if they're gonna use the shot, you know. This is kind of like coverage or
Like I might use like a few
Yeah.
few parts of this.
yeah.
What else about Elephant?
Beethoven,
Beethoven. Yeah,
Beethoven.
that's good. I like the music they use in this.
Moonlight
It-
Sonata, and
it's-
then the other one. Dee, 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 dee.
Yeah. It's like very like
Sets the tone.
it sets a tone, but I mean like what is it? A lot of like old like classical music. It's like that's like the music of gods, you know. Like,
Yeah.
they're trying to
Yeah.
capture what it was like to be
Yeah.
in like a church and they're like
Yeah.
speaking to gods. Like if you're gonna like do like a movie that's like a movie without music, but you want it to still feel like very like spiritual and ominous.
Mhm.
Like classical music is like the way to
That's
go.
fair.
And Beethoven's such
It's
an
a good example.
interesting like artist or musician to choose too, because he kind of represents like this transition from a very like almost innocent the classical era Mozart
Mhm.
and shit like that
Yeah.
to the romantic era, which is all about like this just in a sense much more raw emotion or
Yeah.
kind of breaking rules, which
Your feelings.
Yeah.
How something makes
Yeah.
you feel.
A lot of
Yeah.
people say Beethoven's like the best of classical, right?
And he was like deaf.
yeah, and
Yeah.
he was deaf.
Fucking crazy.
Psychopath.
do you have any easy to access beverages?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, at some point
I
I might
apologize.
get some
you
water.
Get some more water. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I did.
Don't worry.
We always drink them up.
Would
real
you watch
quick.
Elephant again anytime
Yes.
soon?
Oh yeah, probably.
Would you watch it soon? Just
I
out of
might watch it
curiosity.
again this year. Yeah.
Okay.
I liked
It's very quick.
It's quick. It's on. It's
That's
an hour
what's nice
20.
about
That's
it.
yeah, and it's a
Yeah.
solid little movie.
That's what I also respect about it. Like, I like that it was 81 minutes.
You know?
I kind of like shorter movies. I don't mind watching a long one, but I appreciate short movies.
Yeah. It takes its time. It takes its time, and it's still
It's economic
not too
in
much.
its storytelling. Yeah.
It's very
I liked in the middle when the shooters are like sleeping over and shit, and they go back to the sky and it's like got these black clouds.
Yeah.
I like how it's like they're those aren't like normal rain clouds. Like, I've never seen black rain clouds. Like those are black clouds.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, like that's like heavy foreshadowing. And then the thunder. I think we talked about that a little bit. The thunder's like kind of sounds like gunshots.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like definitely good foreshadowing.
Gus Van Sant did like some really interesting stuff with sound in these two movies.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
You know? It's a big part of both of them.
You think anything else?
My favorite line in the movie is when he's in the cafeteria and the girl's like, "What you working on?" And he's like, "You'll see." And he just walks away. It makes me laugh.
He says it just so like nonchalant.
Yeah,
like,
you'll see.
You'll see.
Yeah.
And then that's a really good scene too with sound because he starts looking around and then like just the noise of the cafeteria.
Oh yeah,
swells.
Yeah.
And
That's
he
a
like
great
holds
thing,
his head.
too.
You know.
That like it is interesting too because it's almost like you know like the way like a boat when it like sails across the ocean and it kind of goes smooth but then it'll hit a choppy wave and it kind of dips into the water.
Yeah.
That's what those moments feel like in terms of we're dipping into perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in that one moment you're like, okay, you understand what high school's like for this guy. It's loud, it's abrasive, and he just wants everybody to shut up, you know?
He doesn't like anyone there.
Yeah,
he wants to hurt him, and then it's just like he's feeling it.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is interesting.
He's feeling that pain, whatever it is. I really like that scene where it's near the end, right before he kills his friend, and he's kind of like in this. The color of the scene's kind of like bluish, dark blue type of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's a line where he says, "So fair and foul a day I have not seen." Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
It's
that.
hard to. It's hard to pick up, kind of.
That's like a third, fourth watch type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I read it in the IMDb trivia, and like, it's hard to pick up because like he says it when the camera's like spinning behind his back.
Oh.
So he's saying it, but the camera's like facing his back. It's
that
that
scene in the library?
No, it's that scene right before I think he shoots his friend, and the camera starts spinning around him.
Okay, yeah.
That scene's really great. I like how the camera spins around him, but he says, "So fair and foul a day I have not seen," when the camera is like to his back. But that's like just a really like simple, but that's like theme stated right there.
A little bit.
You
What
know?
does it mean?
So fair and foul a day I haven't seen. It's like it's fair to him because like he's happy he's killing these people, and he also understands though that like he's like being like an evil person. You know.
Interesting.
So
that is pretty
fair
theme
and
stated.
foul.
Was there another theme stated? I don't think there. Can't think of any.
That one is hard to pick up.
Yeah, that's hard to pick up. I can't think of any other theme stated parts.
Yeah, because there's no like dialogue.
Not really,
There's
yeah.
no expositional dialogue
Yeah.
really. That's not even exposition, honestly. That's just like art.
Yeah, it's
That's like a poem, kind of. It's fucked up, but
no, that's definitely like a theme stated sort of thing. I don't know if they did that on purpose, but it feels like.
he's kind of like the only character that doesn't live in the moment.
Which one?
The school shooter,
Alex.
Alex.
Oh
I think.
yeah.
Like he's always like thinking ahead. He's very
He
like
doesn't-
internalized.
Yeah, he doesn't feel
Everyone
like
else
with
is
everybody
yeah.
else, like in
Yeah.
the same island, you know.
Everyone else is like living like their life.
Yeah, everybody else is like a character, you know.
And then he's just like the one who's like thinking about shit in his head.
yeah,
Almost
Yeah.
like a Green Reaper type where he just feels
Yeah.
like foreign to
Mhm.
everybody.
He
else.
wears black a lot.
Yeah.
He's got that black hair.
yeah. That's
he has
interesting.
an interesting look, you know. His face, it still feels kiddish though, you know.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
Oh.
it, like to me, like it just like reinforces the idea that it's like kids killing kids. You
Yeah.
know? Like,
That
that's such a
scene-
strange like idea.
The scene where they're going over the plan and it's kind of like the Pulp Fiction shot.
Yeah, he's like, we're gonna do
And
this.
He
and
like he doesn't like, it's not big, but he kind of starts to have like this little smile in his face.
even just the way he says, most importantly, enjoy yourself. you
Yeah.
know? Like, it
Yeah.
feels
Most
almost
important part,
uplifting.
have fun.
I like the editing a lot. The editing really impressed me there.
Yeah,
it was
that
so
part's
it was so it was almost like silly. It was like
It was a little
reminded me of
goofy.
like Home Alone a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind
It's
of.
like
Or like it is kind of like
They're
it
explaining
feels,
the
it feels
plan.
I don't know how to say this in like an appropriate way, but like that their plan is silly, you know. Like
Yeah.
we have just bombs
Yeah.
and shit. And
We're
the
not saying-
bombs don't go off, you know.
for
It's
anybody,
goofy.
yeah, for anybody who's like misunderstanding Anthony, not that the plan itself is silly, but like the film is presenting the way
The
it's edited.
execution.
The execution of it is silly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It wasn't
The execution of the film is silly in that moment. But
it cuts to each like segment of them.
Yeah, it's like
going
that's
through
like
with their
really like
plan.
fun editing.
Like after that it just cuts to the part like, all right, time to go with Plan B, and
Yeah.
you know,
It almost reminds me of like a way less extreme version of like how Edgar Wright has his movies edited. It's like
Really?
yeah, it's like a lot of
Guess so.
cutting and stuff.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And that's funny because this movie has like lots of long shots.
Yeah.
It's just ironic.
Yeah, it's just that one part.
Yeah.
That's the one part I think that like where the film language is kind of like a little bit different. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing else like that
That's fair.
in the movie.
It warrants it though.
Yeah.
Anything you overall like? Oh, okay. So like, what do you think people who like don't care for this movie criticize it for?
They probably think it's like it depends.
it probably just makes them feel bad, and they don't like that. You know, like
Yeah.
some people don't like to be
I
confronted.
feel
with
like
it.
some people find it boring.
Yeah, like I
definitely,
mean,
yeah.
like in the middle
I
it
can
does
see
get
that.
a little slow, you know, but
That's the point.
not. Yeah, it's
but
not.
yeah.
It doesn't bother me, but I think that can be. It's a valid criticism.
I feel like it's like some people might think it's so simple that it's just like
Well,
kind of pointless.
It's not really telling them how to think or feel. It's just kind of presenting. The
Yeah, you know, and
situation.
it's like I feel like a lot of people just don't like that. You know,
Or I mean, I also think that like people might think it is maybe too exploitative, you know, or like
That's
you don't make a movie. You can't talk.
Why-
About, you
why-
can't talk
yeah.
about
Do
this.
that.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
so bad. You can't do that.
That's inappropriate.
yeah.
Nobody wants to watch that. Who wants to watch that?
No one wants to watch that.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It's like I'd put it in like my top 10.
Huh.
I really, yeah.
I don't know if I'd put it. I'd have to watch it more times, but I really liked it. Like, I liked
It's
it
weird
a
to
lot.
put it in my top 10 though, because like, then you gotta tell someone like, yeah, Elephant's one of my favorite movies. They're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those red flags.
like,
type of
you all
things.
right?
Yeah.
It's like when somebody says like my favorite movie of all time is like Fight Club.
Yeah.
It's the best movie of all time. Fight Club is the best movie ever. It's like, all right, dude. He's like one of those guys.
We should watch this and like get them to do Film Thursday for this.
That would be fun.
That'd be very interesting.
I'd like to listen to your Keenan.
I'd like to hear what like Keenan has to say on it.
I like Keenan and
I
Heather.
mean, Elvis Mitchell wrote like a really good review for this, and then Elvis Mitchell had that interview with like Keenan.
he has
last year.
UNLV connections. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
so like I'd like to talk to Elvis Mitchell about Elephant.
All right, I think. Anything else you guys want to say about Elephant?
It's really great.
Yeah,
I'm
agree.
so glad. Like,
It's a movie for
We got to
film
talk
fans.
about
Yeah, I agree. Kind of reminds me of like Boogie Nights in that way. It's like definitely like a movie that a film,
yeah,
like a movie person would
Yeah.
appreciate like a lot.
Yeah.
it's very. It's
I-
pretentious in the right.
I guess
way.
how do you? We were talking about a little bit before, but how do you feel about this in the context of like Gus Van Sant's filmography and like, you know, a whole like arc had happened before that led to this kind of small rebirth. You know, after he made this trilogy, like sure he still makes movies, but it's not as that much of an event to go watch a Gus Van Sant film,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, he does more like performance-driven movies, and then I feel like this and Last Days, and even Jerry, they're more like filmmaker movies. They're more, like
To
you
get
said,
the
very
street
formalistic.
cred.
You know.
Yeah.
I like these more than like, I like what he's going for in this visually, more than like anything he's done before this.
How much
And
of
after
his
this.
filmography have you seen? You said
I've seen Drugstore Cowboy, Good Will Hunting, Jerry, the trilogy, and Milk. And
And Milk.
Milk's good. It got nominated for like a lot of Oscars. Sean Penn won like Best Actor. And it's a good movie, but it's like Good Will Hunting. Like I don't really remember shots from Milk. But like with fucking even with Jerry, like I remember a lot of the shots,
Nice.
you know?
Okay, yeah.
And it's like the shots are like fun to look at, you know. It like it makes me, it reminds me that I'm watching a movie and it makes me happy.
Yeah.
Where it's like Good Will Hunting, like okay, cool, but it's almost like TV in a way.
All right.
Not
yeah, I see
to
what
put
you're
Good Will Hunting down, because Good Will Hunting's a really good movie, but you don't focus on like the camera movement in Good Will Hunting.
saying. No, not at all.
You're watching
Yeah.
like Robin Williams.
I agree.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, I think that Good Will Hunting, it's a great script, but it definitely is elevated. like the material is elevated by the direction.
I'm
I
sure.
would be like,
Yeah.
there's the especially the very first interaction, the scene between Robin Williams and Matt Damon when they're sitting down. I think there's just like small things like crossing the line, you know, at certain parts or whatever that I think is
Like a good choice.
There's some really good close-ups.
yeah.
Like there's like a close-up where they're on the bench. There's the close-up where they're looking at like the painting, and then there's like a close-up at the end where he's saying like it's not your fault and all that.
Yeah.
And like those are like, they really bring out the emotion of the scenes. But like with Elephant, I just like the whole
You don't think
the concept and the style of it more so.
you think about, not that it's like lesser, but performance is not the first thing. Oh wow, they're actually like doing a really great job. You know, it's more of the visuals, the story, the vibe, the
Hyper
atmosphere.
Yeah, I'd say this movie's kind of like hyper realistic.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It reminds me of like Michael Haneke movies.
Oh yeah.
I can
That's
see that.
and
yeah.
I like Michael Haneke, so
Yeah.
I can see that.
long shots where like not
very quiet.
not much exaggeration, very quiet. Classical music. Michael Haneke really likes. He's got the classical music thing. Yeah, so
So ratings.
I'd say this is my favorite Gus Van Sant movie. Even though let's talk about Last Days too before I say that. But
Okay.
this is definitely up there. Like I like these more than Good Will Hunting, and I really love Good Will Hunting.
So
But-
would this get an A or a?
Yeah, I'd give this like, I don't want to give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, perfect movie.
I gave Funny Games a 10 out of 10, but
Oh shit.
I'll give this a 9 out of 10.
Okay, yeah. So like an A.
A, yeah, it's. I don't feel comfortable saying it's an A plus, but
Yeah, God. Yeah, this is like definitely an A for me.
yeah.
Like definitely 9 out of 10.
Where's it rank in like the movies we've recommended on the podcast?
Definitely up there. I don't know if it beats Eyes Wide Shut for me.
That's fair.
I don't know if it beats Naked either. It's
Naked?
it's pretty close to Naked. It's like really close to Naked.
And
Oh, man, I
those
don't
are
know.
all really different movies
Yeah,
too.
those are all. I mean, Naked is more something I just really like the dialogue and like the concepts and like
Yeah.
some of the visuals.
And it's really fun. It's
Yeah.
entertaining.
Yeah.
You know?
And then, but this is more like I really like just the choices they made. Like everything was awesome.
Yeah. Fully realized.
Yeah, really, really well realized, and like even just like writing it and understanding what each character's doing and how it all like ties together, or like what shots you knew were gonna be tied together.
Definitely
Yeah.
woven.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I wonder what the
Yes.
process of like the
Yes.
preparation process for like making sure everybody like can conceptualize what's happening here and all the different shots we need.
Because it's like
And the timing of it too, like making sure the timing is good.
they had to like definitely rehearse those scenes and probably watch footage for it.
Yeah.
Woven is like a great way to describe this movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would also give this
Well,
a 9 out of 10.
All right.
All right,
I would
Anthony.
give this
Tortillas.
Tortillas.
99 out
He's
of 115.
99 out of 115. That's pretty fucking good.
I said we would maybe do a 99 out of 120.
Okay.
Okay.
He just lowered it.
Yeah.
He just realized he didn't like it like
Yeah.
5 units more.
I would have been good with tortillas.
99 tortillas out of 120.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say
Quesadillas.
Quesadillas.
99 angles of Michelle running out of 120.
Okay, there we go.
Michelle running.
So
The
Oh
whole-
yeah. 99. Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
that works. So all right, yeah, Elephant,
works.
Good movie, solid movie. If you like editing and you like
Oh yeah,
you like school shooters,
Just like artsy movie kind of.
yeah, just watch it. I think you'll
You
like
can't
it.
like write a script about this movie. That is the
Nah.
thing that sucks. You just have to do it.
Yeah,
You have to
pretty-
outline it and then
You
do
can
it.
definitely write like certain portions of a script, but
I mean, literally, if you were to write like a part where like Michelle runs, it's like
right,
Michelle runs past Elias and the photographer kid. She
Right.
makes a left. She goes straight.
yeah,
She makes a right.
yeah. It's just a pain in the ass.
You know, and that shit, like, it'll be like 3 sentences, 3 lines, but it takes up like 2 minutes.
Yeah, it would
You
just be
know?
like she runs.
It's
runs down the hall.
more of like an outline than like an actual script.
like 1500 like fucking adverbs. She
Yeah.
swiftly,
No,
nervously.
fuck that.
Oh, dude, I hate that shit.
Yeah, you just write like I would just write like Michelle runs down the hall, and then right in there like tracking shot lasting like this period of time.
Yeah.
You know, that's that's the easiest way to write that.
Sometimes it's like good when you're like really frank about it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, that's the only way to do it. Like I know they say like don't really like try to like
Eh.
direct in your script, but like for something like that where you're trying to like make sure people get it, so you kind of have to direct it.
Yeah.
Right there. All right, let's move on to Last Days, which we just watched.
Last Days.
Just watched like just before we started this
So-
thing.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some water.
Go
first.
Go for it. Go for it. All right, Elijah, you recommended it.
I'll wait for Anthony to come back.
All right, sounds good.
Sorry, I'll be quick.
No, take your time.
You guys want a Danish or some pizza or anything?
I actually need some water. Where are the plastic cups, Norby?
They're right up there on the fridge.
Oh, sweet.
Well. I'm here by myself. Interesting turn of events. Let's see who's watching. Two people watching. Well, whoever you are, thank you. Let's see. What do I have here? No. Oh God, what did I click on? No Effects, The Untold Truth. What the fuck is this? Alright, I'm gonna show you guys something. What is this?
Despite being perhaps the greatest DIY success story in punk music,
I
No
know
Effects
FX.
remains
Did I
under
click
the
on that?
radar, bro.
Yeah, I did. Most dangerous man on the planet. Oh God, it's Alex Jones.
Is Alex Jones in the building? You're gonna get in trouble now. You have me on.
What are three things
What is it? What is it?
Right, they are back.
Walking
Fuck.
outside of a movie theater after a movie. That's the one I picked. Because like that has a vibe too.
Oh, like in the ad section, like it's the
No,
survey.
it's yeah, kind of, but it's like content creators can like post that stuff now.
Oh yeah, you can kind of like post stories and shit on YouTube. I forget. We gotta start doing stories for
What you mean?
for backcountry.
What do you mean stories?
You can like
You
post,
can like an Instagram story.
you can make like
on
a post
YouTube.
on yeah.
Oh, you can. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, YouTube. I really
Yeah.
check those out. I don't know why.
Me
YouTube's doing
neither.
it.
Me neither.
That is so stupid. I don't like where YouTube's going at all.
that yeah.
There's like, and it sucks. There's no other YouTube out there. There's like Vimeo, but like
Vimeo's not.
Vimeo's like.
Vimeo's
Oh
Vimeo's like
wait,
a
there
short-
might be one. It's called We Vid It.
That sounds so fucking
I hate the
lame.
name. But they're a video startup and they're trying to do stuff. So we'll see in
Dude, yeah,
the coming
YouTube
years.
definitely needs to be like taken down a peg. They're going rampant right now.
What's that feeling like when you come out of just like watching a movie, Norby, of a movie theater? You've been sitting down for 2 hours.
It's like
You get to finally stretch, but you just also watched a kick-ass
it's
movie.
like a mix of like finishing a book and like finishing orgasming.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Post nut.
It's like
kinda
it's like
post-nut.
post nut. Yeah, it's kind of like
Yeah.
a post nut feeling.
you stretch out a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, but it's also like you finish the book.
But when
too,
it's
yeah,
like a movie that was like really good though too.
oh, that's like insane.
Like when I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
That's
and then
be-
I
that's-
got
that's
like,
better-
oh my,
that's better than
God.
post nut. That's
Oh.
that's a lot better
Yeah,
than post
It's
nut.
like a lasting orgasm.
That's like
Exactly.
that's like a revelation.
like
That's
the
a
Kama
life-changing
Sutra
moment.
type of orgasm.
Yes. Oh, imagine like walking out of like the theater after seeing like Pulp Fiction.
That was me. Yeah, after
Or,
I
like,
walked out of
Elephant.
Uncut Gems, I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, it's kind of like that too.
All right, so Last Days, Elijah.
Last Days. Okay, so I saw Elephant and Jerry, and at the time I had this Instagram page where I would write reviews for movies, and I wanted to review all 3 of his Death Trilogy movies. So I saw Last Days, and I was really looking forward to seeing Last Days in general, just because I'm a huge Nirvana fan. They're probably my favorite band, and it's, I guess, an interpretation of what Kurt Cobain's final days could have been. And first time I saw it, I liked it a lot. I definitely liked it more after this viewing, just because like I feel like my tastes have changed a little bit since I first saw it.
Yeah.
But I really like this movie. I like what it did.
It was fun. It was.
You can see how it's a companion to Elephant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just like school shootings and like grunge too.
They go. They're
Those,
pretty hand in hand.
those are just
But
like
they're both like '90s products. Yeah.
yes. There's something like very like
They're just very '90s.
important
Yeah.
about those two things. You know,
I mean, school shooting wasn't really like super '90s because that's more like entering 2000s.
there's
definitely.
still some school like. Have you heard "Jeremy" by Pearl Jam?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's a school shooting song, and that came
gotcha.
out in 1991.
Gotcha.
So it is. I would say like
It was in the culture.
yeah. It's in that 90s like grunge, post grunge type of thing. Kurt Cobain died. That was kind of the end of grunge.
Yeah.
In a way,
But school shootings didn't die. Like school shootings are
it
definitely
started it.
Yeah, school shootings
know?
was more of like a 2000 like fear. I mean, it it happened.
Yeah,
Yeah, now
that's
we have
fair.
school
But now it's
shooting
like,
drills.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, like our generation is a lot
That's
affected
fair.
by school shootings a lot more than '90s kids were.
That's fair.
Yeah,
But then that also comes from the whole post grunge thing
yeah, I agree.
in a way.
I agree.
And then that's post grunge is
I
death
do
of
see them
Kurt
as being
Cobain.
a little bit connected. Yeah.
So it's kind of funny how Elephant comes before Last Days, but either way, it doesn't really matter which way you watched them. But
Yeah.
what were your guys' thoughts on Last Days?
I felt like I liked it more right now because I was high. But not that I wouldn't like it or enjoy it if I wasn't high.
You
know
think
what I'm
there was
saying?
some bonus?
Like especially in the sound.
Did-
Maybe did we have it just really loud?
We had it loud
I
as
think
fuck.
we had
I
it
think.
really fucking loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That
we
was
had-
great.
That really
though.
helped.
Oh
Like,
my
that really
god,
helped.
the
Yeah.
sound in the movie's amazing.
Yeah. So there's one scene where Kurt Cobain is sitting at a campfire.
His name's Blake.
Oh yeah, Blake. Whatever. Blake. I'm gonna call him Kurt Cobain just because it makes it
No,
easier
that's
for me.
fair.
But they're sitting at a campfire, and it's like the fire sound effects were like obnoxiously loud.
I was like, I literally, cause like when I get high, like that's how it sounds sometimes. And I thought I was just like fucking like tripping, you know, like.
I thought I was like tripping a little bit too. I was like, then when you pointed out, I started listening. I was like, this is obnoxious. Like this is annoying, dude.
Yeah.
It's like there's no silence. It's like literally just like, it sounds like it's right in my ear, dude.
That's a good scene though, cause like the fire's crackling and it's like got this nice orange glow on his face.
Yeah,
No,
we-
but
we were
it
talking
works.
about
But
that.
It worked.
Sound-
No, we figured out it does work.
But
We
that
like
was
it.
funny
Cause
because
like it's the sound equivalent to how like
Like, it feels
abrasive, intense a fire feels that close to your face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Oh.
when I was sitting there, it definitely felt like my face was getting hot.
Like I was like,
Just
I need to
listening
like
that.
move back. You know, you want to move back. Fuck. I always forget how hot fire is until I'm right next to it. You know?
Yeah.
it made you remember just
Yeah.
from sound. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So
I don't know if that's exactly how you want the audience to react. It's like, oh, I hate this choice. Oh wait, no, it's a good choice. I don't know, maybe.
But I thought the movie was cool.
Yeah, it was a
And
neat little
I do
movie.
like the ending of how they depict his death.
that's fair.
I didn't realize what was going on at first, because that's when I was like, I don't know, I was like just trying to follow,
Figure it out.
you know. But
You know how he died?
well, yeah.
Okay.
And that's why I was like, oh,
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
So the way they did the death scene is probably my favorite moment in the entire movie.
Really?
That
Okay.
was awesome.
Yeah.
That
I was
so
wrong
fucking.
then.
That was definitely like my favorite shot.
I do like how when he's kind of like climbing into heaven, it looks like he's actually climbing on like
Yeah,
the
oh,
bars
it's
of that
so
fucking
cool.
door.
Yeah.
That's really clever.
I really liked how the
Good visual
looked. It's
trick.
really just like it almost looks like a. It's not. I mean, it's not a painting, but it's like it reminds me of like a painting almost.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like you wondering what the afterlife is like, and it's like he's just climbing up.
It-
He's just
it-
going up.
it makes
I
it-
really like that feeling.
It makes it somewhat hopeful too,
Yeah, it does.
because it's a very like depressing movie.
Yeah,
You know, it's about a guy who's like just like he's ready to die.
yeah.
You know,
mm-hmm.
and I like how he's naked too.
Me too. Yeah.
He's
Me
very
too.
bare.
It's just such a good shot. Like that's so, and it's so like personal. Like it's such a personal looking image. You know?
Yes.
Like death is like.
an impressionistic
Yeah.
like view into how someone interprets death.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, I just really like that.
And we were talking about how like biopic movies like suck dick,
Yeah.
and this movie doesn't.
Because it's trying to
Like,
be its own thing. you
Yes,
know, it's
it
not-
it puts a cool spin on the whole like legend of Kurt Cobain, I guess you could say, because like I mean, he's very reminiscent of Kurt Cobain, but there's also some things about him that it's not like he is like his own person to a certain extent. Do you guys think so, or do you
Well,
you
like
just see Kurt Cobain?
it's weird because it obviously they make it the explicit distinction. This is not Kurt Cobain.
Right.
This is inspired by him. You know,
But then it's like very.
And you could say the same thing about Elephant, but they go out of their way to show very explicit details that are of the actual person or incident. You know what I'm saying? So like you can't have it both ways. I kind of feel.
Yeah.
You know? Like I don't know. I don't care. Like that's why I kind of like Vox Lux, because like obviously there's direct and clear references, but they're not basically showing them and saying it's not them.
It is like fictional.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not based on something like super concrete.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if they wouldn't say this was like had anything to do with Kurt Cobain, you'd still probably think it's Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, 100%,
Yeah. Even the whole glasses. There's actually a lot of
I
things.
really like those glasses. Though.
Kurt Cobain had that thing where he'd wear the glasses and ugly sweaters.
Yeah.
He did that thing in the 1993 Brazil concert where he wears the dress.
Yeah, but did he wear dresses often, or was that just a choice for the film?
He was bisexual.
Oh, okay.
Um,
yeah, because it showed that I didn't know that were the other members of the band also bi?
No, those weren't members of the band.
Oh, those are just people.
Those were just
Yeah.
like junkies. I think
They're just,
hanging
I think they're
out.
just friends with him, sort of.
Yeah, and they were like people who wouldn't like tell.
Because the
tell
one
on
guy with
him.
the long hair, I didn't know if it was just like that was the closest they could get to looking like Dave Grohl, or if it really was.
No, I don't
Nah.
think. I feel like the band scene is that part where they call him on the phone.
And they're
Yeah,
telling him he
yeah.
doesn't
respond.
That's why I got confused.
I thought of that scene and I was like, I wonder if like they could have said anything that would have changed his mind,
Or where were they? You know, like
they're probably, I don't know where they were, but like was there something they said that just
Yeah, there was like.
was it just like the whole thing and then he's like, okay, I'm done with this shit, or did it just like finally reach a point?
The way it felt for me was like it reached a point.
well, like the
Yeah.
whole movie feels like this thing where he's just like constantly being almost like bothered by everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't.
Everyone annoys him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like people who probably were his friends.
Who care about him? Yeah.
Even that Harmony Korine part.
Yeah,
Like,
that part
it's
was so
funny
good. I like that part.
where he's talking about like going to a Grateful Dead concert and then playing D&D.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like he's so like far removed from this shit that it doesn't even matter to him.
Yeah. Well, he just doesn't know.
He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
was he also mentally ill?
Kurt
Probably.
Cobain, so like
I think he's bipolar.
the thing with Kurt Cobain was he had like stomach issues
Yeah, yeah. I knew he had stomach
and
issues.
he got into a heroin addiction that made his stomach feel better sort of. And he like relapsed and shit. I don't know if he like expressly had it. He probably had depression.
I definitely.
Because
probably,
I
like-
thought that like yeah he the heroin, he did it to try to help his stomach thing, but it didn't help his stomach thing. But now he just is addicted to heroin, and then it just got worse and worse.
I've read.
He said there's an interview where he says like he found
Yeah.
a new medicine, and he doesn't say what it is exactly. Like, oh, did you get it from the doctors? Like, no, they couldn't figure it out. They couldn't prescribe me anything.
He's that's
He's
the
never-
one.
He never explicitly says it's
He's like
heroin,
smoking a cigarette in that
Yeah,
one,
I
right?
think so.
Yeah. I think that's like from 1993.
but- Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, he had like. I'm pretty sure like the heroin did help him to a certain extent.
Yeah, it was
But-
like an escape.
Yeah, and that's like the thing with heroin. It's like it's an opioid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pain reliever, but then it's also like it fucks your life up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then I know like basically Nirvana's last concert was in March of 1994 in Germany.
Yeah.
And I think like 5 days later or something, it was like March 6th, somewhere around there. He like it was like a rumor that he like OD'd on like Rofinol or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually didn't, but like the press kind of reported it like that. And then he checked into a rehab facility, but after like a week or something, 5 days, I don't know, he escaped. And then they didn't really know where he was. And then he got like a flight back to Seattle. He sat next to the bass player for Guns N' Roses.
Really?
Yeah, and the bass player said that like he didn't think there was anything weird about him.
Mhm.
You know, he felt like normal. And then, yeah, like the last days, no one really knows what happened, but he like killed himself on April 5th, and then they found his body on April 8th. And yeah, so the movie does a pretty good job at like depicting what could have been, because I just like that part where he's going through the forest. I kind of view that as like, okay, he escaped from like the drug
interesting.
facility.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He has the drug facility bracelet on.
Yeah.
He's wearing like what he would have been wearing there. He's going into this fucking waterfall to like take a bath,
Yeah.
you know? And then he's going home. He digs up where he has like his secret stash of like dope.
Mm-hmm.
And then he knows he's going to kill himself. He doesn't really care that these people are here. He's just going to try and like not confront anyone who's going to like delay his
I kind of like
death.
how he almost feels like a ghost who's like
Yes.
just
Yeah.
Yes, he is like a
kind of
ghost.
just floating through the house.
Yeah.
Like he's haunting the house. It feels.
He's like not even a creepy ghost.
No, yeah, it's just like someone
like
who's
an empty soul.
who can't
Yeah.
escape like the house or whatever.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, the house is so like I told Norby and you, it's like it reminds me of the Fight Club house.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
And it's like this guy's rich, like he's basically Kurt Cobain. He like he has like all the money in the world, and yet he's in this place where like the fucking he doesn't have the heater on.
Yeah.
The fucking walls are
Yeah, it looks
peeling
like
and
there's been
shit.
zero repairs. To
You know,
anything.
it's like purposely like white trashy kind of.
Mhm. It's just like a junkie house.
Yes, it's a big junkie
Yeah.
house. And then he's just letting these junkies stay in there with him. These junkies who he doesn't even like particularly care for
Yeah.
and who just use him. And he's pretty sure like they use him. But he's like so depressed and so like done with life that it like doesn't matter. It's sad.
I think it's crazy how like imagine being there and at his house when he fucking killed himself. Like, yeah, we don't want to be a part of this. Like, we're gonna get tangled up in all this shit. This fucking like insane rock star who changed music in the 90s.
And we did dope with him.
Yeah, and we did dope with him. Imagine like being
Yeah.
like your name is gonna be
You're fucked.
you're kind of like that's like your legacy.
I don't think like I don't know like how true that part is to real life.
Me neither, but
But
yeah.
it's interesting because, like, they're kind of cool that he's about to kill himself. They have to know something's wrong with this guy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Not unless like he
I think
always
they're
acted
just I think
like
they're just
that,
like so
but-
irresponsible. They probably didn't even realize it.
and,
But
and
yeah,
they're like
that-
trying
it-
to get their fix.
Yeah, but like even after like he dies and it cuts to them and they see it happening, like their first concern is, shit.
How are- what's gonna happen to
We
me?
were there,
Yeah.
you know.
He was like their plug kind of.
Yeah.
And now he's gone. And
They dip.
I like that part where he holds like his daughter's shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Because Kurt Cobain's daughter was like 1.5 or so.
Oh shit.
She was born in like 1992. And that part where Kim Corden comes over and like she talks about like, did you talk to your daughter? And he doesn't really have much dialogue in the movie, but he says like, yeah, I made the voices she liked. And that part's so sad though, because like that's something that like makes him happy, and that can't even like help him out of like his pit.
Yeah. It's crazy. Interesting.
That's really sad.
Oh, I like the part where that slow zoom out of the window.
I was about to mention.
That's
that.
my favorite
that's my-
fucking part.
That part is
Oh,
like that part in the
that's
part
amazing.
where they show Kurt Cobain's soul leaving his body, or the probably my favorite.
And
my
the
favorite
and
parts.
the song where he plays the acoustic song.
That one was good, but I tuned out a little bit.
this.
Just a
You
little
kept
bit.
looking at the pasta, I think.
Yeah, I straight up I thought my mom left the sink running, and I was
Yeah,
like,
me too.
I was
really
looking over it, and I was
confused.
like, I hope it's not overflowing.
That
right now.
scene is great. You need to rewatch that
Yeah,
scene.
I'll have to rewatch
that
it.
part, because that's all like one take too. That's one take from like
Yeah, and you
the
can
guy
see the sound like
Yes.
it's matched up what he's doing.
the
It's really cool.
yeah, that scene took like some precision, because that has to be like maybe like a 6-7 minute scene, because I know the actor's name's Lucas Haas, the guy with glasses.
Yeah.
He's there talking about like the Japanese sex or whatever. And
Dude, I
then
really like that part. That part
That
was good
part was
dialogue.
pretty cool.
I really like that.
that's just
that
a funny
monologue.
part too, because it's like kind of like loser songwriter dude going to like Kurt Cobain
yeah,
for
it's like-
songwriting.
yeah, so I want to write a song about it. But
would you make it better, man?
yeah, I need lyrics to the song I'm about to write.
Yeah, yeah. You give me lyrics, and I tell people I wrote them. You know?
I inspired these lyrics right
But it just like stays like right there, and then the name of the song too is called "Death to Birth." That's just a great title.
Death to
That-
birth.
No, that's a great title. That's
Yeah.
like a great like Nirvana. That's very Nirvana inspired too. And Michael Pitt wrote the song, and the song's fucking like
Oh, I thought the
It's
song was
great.
called "Fetus," or there was another song. I saw
the
in
other
in-
song's called "Fetus."
in the credits. Oh, he didn't. The
the
long
zoom
one?
out one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or the not zoom out, but and then he breaks his guitar string. Did you notice
Yeah,
that?
that
I
was
didn't
really
notice
cool.
that. I
Damn,
actually didn't notice
Norby.
that.
Oh, dude. I think you
yeah.
you need to watch that scene
focus on
again.
the pasta.
You're good, you're
I
good.
apologize.
but he starts really like playing the guitar hard, and then he breaks the string and finishes the song.
Yeah.
And this is one fucking take.
Yeah.
Like,
That's really cool.
oh my god. Michael Pitt was amazing, dude.
Yeah.
What an actor.
What has he been in recently?
I looked at his filmography and like he's kind
He
of
doesn't do much?
shit.
He's just
Right,
he has a
maybe
career at
check
least.
that out.
and
Yeah.
He's still working.
He
which
was
is
in this
nice.
movie with this Bernardo Bertolucci movie,
Oh, really?
The Dreamers.
Oh yeah, that's an old one.
I
though.
want to see
That's
that.
the one with Ava Green.
It's like NC-17.
yeah, because it's just
It's
basically
like
them
sex.
fucking the whole movie.
I want to see that one because Michael Pitt, he's great.
Yeah.
Every movie that like a Bully, this and fucking Funny Games, he's amazing in all three of them.
Yeah.
You know, and then like he's been in like some action movies, and it's like
Interesting.
do more of this stuff. You know, oh god, it's got to be hard to act like that too. Like those scenes where he's just like falling over and shit.
Yeah.
I feel
Like
that'd
to
be-
let your body get to that point,
Yeah.
you almost have to be like inebriated
Yeah.
or under the influence of what the character's under the influence of.
You have
or
to be
just,
in a very specific state of mind. to
you
be
know,
doing
yeah,
that.
that's not easy. Like
No.
you can't just do that.
Yeah,
you know?
you definitely in like a gloomy, like imagine like for entire shoots you're just like basically your ass is on the ground.
Maybe you just can't
Exactly.
do it
Just
anymore.
touching.
You know, he's probably like, exhausted of.
Yeah, I'm sure that has to be physically taxing. And when you're in movies that have like such negative themes too,
You know,
and you're a
there's-
good actor and you let it kind of, I'm sure it gets to some
Yeah.
people,
Mhm.
unfortunately. But I really loved Michael Pitt in this movie.
Yeah, he did a really good job. I think he did a good
I
job.
wonder what he did to prepare for it.
Got really, really sad.
Skinny.
Like, I
He's
wonder
got
if,
skinny, yeah.
if he, like, I'm sure he had to talk to, like, some people who might have known Kurt Cobain. I wonder if it was more just, like, him and Gus Van Sant talking. Or if it was just, like,
Maybe he already really liked Nirvana. you
I'm
know?
sure he had
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I mean, those songs are very, like, Nirvana inspired.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like it could be a Nirvana thing.
Yeah.
I like that scene where it's, like, just the push away, I guess you could say, from
Oh,
the
that part
window.
was so fucking cool.
And then he, like, he's looping the guitars.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he's, like, doing, like, some crazy, like, fucking feedback shit.
Yeah.
And then he's got his voice looping.
It's
And
just
then-
him
and
yelling.
Then he gets the drums. Oh fuck, dude, that part was
It
so
was
fucking
great.
sick.
Yeah,
When
the
drums kicked in.
transitions from before drums to after drums, like almost a completely different song. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
And the camera's just moving back.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
It was
distancing
more like a
itself.
zoom. I don't think it was an actual move. But
Yeah, it was moving.
It was.
So in the special features, they show like they had to do this thing where the dolly track was only like a certain length.
Yeah, because if you go out so far, you'd see it, or else you had to be on like a 200.
So what they had to do was like take as they were moving
Oh,
back,
really?
they
That's
were
funny.
taking the front of the dolly track and putting it to the back. We need to check it out. It's
Okay,
pretty
yeah,
cool.
we
should.
needed to do that.
Yeah, it wasn't just a zoom. You think it's a zoom,
Yeah.
but it's
It's interesting.
and the shot doesn't even feel
it
like
might
there's
also just
people
be
there.
too-
No, yeah, it's
that
like
was-
I can't even
yeah,
I
that-
can't even tell what's going on inside the house really.
No,
It's just all depending on the.
it
audio.
doesn't feel like there's people operating the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
it,
that too,
it
yeah.
just feels like you're slowly moving away from him.
Yeah.
I mostly just remember that scene for being loud, and I think maybe I think I was just high.
No, you're good. I liked how loud it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, I did too. When the drums kicked in, I was like, man, I want to start like really going for it.
Raging, yeah.
What's the scene where the like bells come on?
Bells. I don't remember any bells.
There's a part where there's like bells.
I know
In
what
the
you're talking
background.
about, but I can't
I think it's
remember.
like it's kind of like a close up on his face, and then
Yeah.
there's just like bells, and it's like
There's the one part.
I remember that part was beautiful.
At the fire. Or after the scene after the fire,
I don't remember.
or before.
I don't remember that.
Like after he takes the bath in the river thing.
That's not the part I'm thinking of.
I don't remember.
Part I'm thinking of, I think, is like midway through. I'd have to probably
I
go
remember
through
the
scene
scenes
part that
selection.
you're
rewatch
like, that
it.
was fucking great.
The
And
part you're thinking
no,
of?
I remember. No, you were saying that at a certain scene. You're like,
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
It was one of those.
All right, here's a question.
Yeah.
If you guys were to make another Nirvana movie, what would it be about?
Okay.
And why?
Okay.
Keep it to like 5 sentences.
Okay, so it's like an elevator pitch.
Yeah.
5. Okay.
I feel like Elijah's got something.
All right.
All right, you can. It doesn't have to be 5 sentences, but just keep it brief.
I know.
You're the most.
Okay,
you're the most
I know.
familiar.
I know.
All right, what would it be?
See, I had an idea a while ago of just like a Kurt Cobain biopic,
Uh-huh.
just called "Dumb," because that's the name of like one of the songs on In Utero. I really like that song, but it would just be like a biopic,
From what time
Yeah.
period? What time?
Epic.
just like from the beginning of Nirvana to like the end of Nirvana.
Okay, gotcha.
But I feel like the thing I would want to do. So it's not a Nirvana movie. It'd be called The Seattle Scene.
That's what I was about to say. I want to
Yeah.
just do a movie that takes place, like one night, one like not I don't want to say battle of the bands, but there's a whole bunch of groups there, and Nirvana just happens to be one of them. But just
that'd be fucking
the
cool.
Seattle scene,
Yeah.
it just seems to be more of an interesting
Yes.
playground for a story.
There's a documentary about Seattle grunge when it was like really like popping off and shit.
Really?
There's a documentary. Yeah, it has.
I want to see that.
It has this really cool picture of I looked in the IMDb. There's this picture of this kid with like 2 cigarette buds like stuck up his nose.
Oh,
and
okay,
shit, and
that's
he's
cool.
got like his hair braided in the middle. It's like what the kid looks so weird.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. So I would do okay. Seattle Scene takes place in 1990, in between period of Nirvana's first album and mainstream success with Nevermind,
Yeah.
along with Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, Mudhoney, the death of Andrew
that'd be pretty cool.
Wood, and dismemberment of Mother Love Bone, Temple of the Dog's first album, and fucking did I say Soundgarden?
No, I don't think he did.
Soundgarden. Just a mixture of all that shit.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
I definitely watch that.
There's not enough grunge in movies.
No. And then like the movies that are grunge, like singles, it just looks like I don't know.
I still want to watch it.
I want to see it because I like Matt Dillon.
Yeah, Matt
and
Dillon's
I
cool.
like grunge, but I don't have a lot of hope for the movie, unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong.
The review seemed alright.
Yeah, it seems like people liked it.
Yeah.
People tend to like Cameron Crowe movies, even though they're not like great. I don't know. I'm not a big. I've seen Jerry Maguire, Almost Famous, and Vanilla Sky, and none of them did too much for me.
Damn.
Vanilla Sky is based off of Abre
Abre
Los Ojos.
I really liked Abre Los Ojos a lot.
Abre Los Ojos looks good.
Yeah, I liked
But
it a lot.
okay, what would you do for the Nirvana movie?
I would. Oh, what do I do for a Nirvana movie?
Yeah.
I have a few ideas because I really like seeing like the beginnings of stuff, like
Okay.
like beginning music, how they act in the beginning. Like having that whole underdog aspect to it. But it'd also be cool to have a movie like about characters who like really enjoyed like seeing the beginnings of the grunge scene, and it's like
Okay.
it's like Nirvana's kind of like a background sort of thing.
Yeah, so it's like they're there, but like the main character's
Yeah, like,
fictional.
like seeing the
yeah,
culture,
Yeah, that's like what Almost Famous
Yeah.
is like.
And then you could
I like
almost-
stuff like
you
that
could
too.
almost like end it with like what is it called when Smells Like Teen Spirit comes out,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
then it really blows up and becomes
Yeah.
this big thing, and everybody's wearing flannel all of a sudden.
I feel
Yeah.
like- I feel like even like a Fear and Loathing Las Vegas type of thing, but put it in the Seattle grunge.
Yeah.
That'd be good too.
That'd
Yeah,
be
that'd be
awesome.
really fun. All right, so anything else you guys want to say about Last Days?
I really like the long takes.
Yeah, they were good. They did the same thing in Elephant, where they had like a few shots that were like they showed them again.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
did that again.
This one was a little more
It was harder to follow.
incoherent.
Yeah, it's not as obvious.
It didn't
in this one.
bother me.
Yeah.
This isn't a movie though you really watch for narrative.
No,
You watch it for like
it's
Just
more like
atmosphere.
It's more of a mood thing. Yeah.
yeah. Tone, not even tone poem, because it's not really like
It's not really like a.
it's not a poem.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's not a poem. All right, what would you rate it?
Hold on, I just wanna.
Yeah, if you want to say something.
I'd probably put Elephant above this,
I agree.
but I
Same.
really like this movie just too because I'm a Nirvana fan, and it's pretty like. I buy him as Kurt Cobain. And I like how
Bless
they,
you.
I like how they didn't just play Nirvana songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
I
was
like how
the
you-
easiest thing.
That's
to do.
also why I was annoyed with Bohemian Rhapsody.
Dude, fuck! Oh man, there's literally a part where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, we have to get all the Queen songs in there, so they just like
Are you
they just start
serious?
playing them, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
here's the album cover, here's the album cover.
Yeah,
Oh.
it literally.
It was like, dude, this is
like
so
a
fucking
montage.
lazy. Yeah, it was garbage, dude. I was really pissed off. I was like, man, they got lazy with
Bohemian
that movie.
Rhapsody seems like such a sin. And it's also rated PG-13.
Yeah, it's
That's
disappointing.
fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
originally, Sacha Baron Cohen was supposed to play Freddie Mercury, but he wanted to do like the real like an R-rated version.
Yeah.
They should have. That would have been amazing.
He looks a lot
Yeah.
more like Freddie Mercury too,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Gay.
Rami Malek doesn't really
Bruno?
look
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruno, Sacha Baron Cohen.
like him. Yeah.
He would have been. Oh fuck, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, he would've
and
been
then
a lot
fucking
better.
like Rami Malek wins like best actor,
That's
and it's like he wins best actor because like
because people really like Freddie Mercury. I guess.
yeah, exactly. And then
But-
I don't know why the fuck the movie won for editing. I
That-
feel like
yeah,
they.
that I don't. That's,
feel
I don't
like
know,
they
that's rigged.
did-
That's
really-
rigged.
That,
That's like when-
that year was weird. That year was just weird.
Was that when
Oh,
Green
really?
Book won?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I feel like maybe that was a year in the Oscars where it's like, let's see if people actually watch it. It's like when it's like when your teacher says something to see if the class is paying attention, and maybe the Oscars thought like, all right, we'll like see if like people pay attention to the editing category. So we'll have Bohemian Rhapsody win.
We'll slip this in there. Imagine applauding that. Would
What
you applaud
other
that?
movies were nominated that year?
Oscar
I don't
gate.
know.
What other
Yeah.
movies? Black Klansman.
No, for editing.
Oh, editing.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember.
Maybe some action movies. Were there any big action? Maybe
Avengers.
Black.
Remember that was the year that it was going to be nominated for best popular film. Remember?
That should not be a category.
No.
That's fucking stupid.
Well, that's like it's kind of like when UNLV does like the fan favorite.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like that.
yeah, but like with the
It's
Oscars,
not a legit
the,
award though.
with the
Yeah.
Oscars, then the fan favorite's always gonna be like Black
But
Panther.
no, fan favorite is good at like for a festival thing.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because
for a
that's
festival.
that's for like this like very in the moment type of thing.
Right.
But like the Oscars, which is like a reflection of a whole year of movies,
Right.
a fan favorite feels inappropriate. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I agree. All right.
Ah,
Sorry,
I
I
would-
wanna see what other movies were in there.
it's alright. I'll rate this.
Yeah, go for it.
I liked Elephant more, so I'll give this one a 94. 94 sunglass dress parka combos out of
I feel like you're gonna do like 150.
You better not do
130.
150.
I'll just keep it at 120.
120. All right. I would give.
Oh, that
this,
was the year of Roma. I need to see
give
Roma.
this-
That was great.
You like Roma?
I like Roma.
I want to see it.
People say it's boring as shit, though. I don't.
Really?
I disagree.
I'd probably give this like a B. Definitely like a B.
B.
Yeah.
I feel it's just not as profound as Elephant.
No.
It feels smaller in scope. Like I don't know.
Yeah. There's a lot more going on in Elephant. I mean, there's
For-
so many more characters.
For some reason, Elephant even feels more intimate to me than this does. I don't know if that makes
Elephant, yeah, that's fair. Even though this movie's like intimacy.
It's supposed to be about one
Yeah.
person. I felt
Um,
Elephant. It's more emotionally.
I'm just gonna.
moved.
I'll always have like that Kurt Cobain bias. I'd give it like an 8 out of 10. Let me see. I'd give it. Let's see. If Smells Like Teen Spirit's the best Nirvana song, or supposedly, I'd give this one a. I need to think about this. No. I'd give this a Scentless Apprentice out of
Whoa.
Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Okay.
So it's a fan favorite, but it's not like universal.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know, it's like almost like a guilty pleasure, but it's not a guilty pleasure because like I don't feel. It's
You
not.
feel
There's
guilty
nothing
about liking
bad
it.
about this movie,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I'd give it like an 8 out of 10 though.
Yeah, I'd give it like an 8 out of
Oh.
10.
I don't.
I just really like that ending shot and that song. Like, a lot.
I don't feel like I can watch it as easily as Elephant.
No.
Elephant I've
Elephant's a lot
seen like
easier.
Elephant I've seen like 5 times. This is only
Yeah.
the second time I've seen this. But I did have a craving to see this movie. So, I really love the music in it. I love that part where they play the guy karaoke's Venus in Furs,
Oh yeah.
the Velvet Underground
yeah.
song. That part's fucking great.
Yeah.
Even the part where like they have sex, it's just so like that's kind of like a Gus Van Sant thing too. Like with like some of the gay stuff.
Yeah.
Cuz I haven't seen My Own Private Idaho, but that's like I guess gay
Popular
movie.
gay movie.
Yeah. And then in Elephant there was the whole part where the school shooters kiss each other
Yeah.
in the shower. And then there's like the whole like homoerotic tone in here.
Mhm.
And then even in Jerry, I guess you could say there might be like subtle homoerotic tones because it's about just like two guys.
Right.
So, and then he did Milk.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
obviously.
yeah. It's in there. You can see it, but
Yeah, I like how it's not. He doesn't like try
No,
to make it
it's-
about shoving it in your throat.
No,
it's
it is-
like he treats it with like a lot of
it's very.
I don't want to say treats it with a lot of respect. Like it's not that like he treats it with a lot of respect by treating it like any other thing.
You know, it's not like how a Disney
Is it-
movie approaches like
Yeah.
a gay person.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like respectful to the audience, I guess you could say.
respectful.
Matter of
it's
fact.
just respectful in all rights. Like if you ramp
Yeah.
something up, that implies that it needs to be ramped up. It's like
Yeah, no, yeah.
nothing really.
It
everything's
it
equal.
provides it like very plain as day type of thing.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, everybody gave it like a B.
I really like Last Days.
Yeah, Last Days was fun.
It's not
I-
like
I'm definitely
Honestly-
gonna watch that one zoom out scene again. Like I'm
Oh,
planning,
yeah.
I'm planning to watch it
I
like,
wanna
after
see
you guys
that.
leave. 'cause
that's
I really like
definitely
that
that's
scene.
definitely my favorite part. That and the death to birth part.
Gotcha.
Um,
That part was good too.
it's not really a movie to get stoned to, even though that's what we did.
Yeah.
But
I
like,
enjoyed.
no,
your
like I
time.
still, yeah. You notice the sound,
Yeah.
a
Oh
lot.
man, you.
How
I really
couldn't
noticed
you?
the
How couldn't we?
and that's why it won that prize at Cannes for it.
Oh fuck. Sorry,
Alright.
I'm full.
Anything else? Anything else you guys want to mention?
Kim Gordon. She was
Gordon,
great.
she's in it.
I like that part with the detectives talking about the magician.
Oh yeah, that was
That was
kinda
kinda
goofy.
goofy.
Yeah, I
That
like
was a
that.
Boogie
Oh
Nights guy.
fuck! Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I did not like that scene with the Boys to Men music video. Holy
Oh, I
shit!
forgot about that.
That was so out of place.
I like that part.
I didn't like. Yeah, I didn't mind it so much.
Oh my god, that was awful.
I kind of was enjoying it.
I know
I
that-
like that he was watching this. I actually like the fact that he's watching this Boys to Men.
It's supposed to be like, I get the idea where it's supposed to like parallel like, oh, it's like a sexy Boys to Men video versus like Kurt Cobain wanting to kill himself, but like,
Not even
God,
just
that video just like, it's like, oh my god,
I almost see it as
You didn't
like.
this
the
is
video?
awful.
I
You
almost
don't
see it
like
as
the
like.
video?
I did not like that part.
I see it as like almost like acknowledgement of the times. Like it's like such a very '90s music video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
but
like also it's the thing too of like another transition from like rock and roll and the rock star to being like the ultimate icon to hip hop or like R&B
Oh, okay. I
and
see, yeah, I see
and
that
like
too.
and like I guess just more like black music being the popular.
Yeah.
it's shifting. Yeah, I don't even like. The song was goofy. It made me like realize like I'm watching like this goofy music video in this movie that's supposed to be like making me feel sad.
That's
Yeah.
supposed. I
It
think that's the
took
point
me
though, because
so
like
out
maybe he's
of it.
watching this music video thinking that about the whole world. The world is goofy.
maybe.
Nah,
Yeah,
maybe
it was a funny part.
it didn't work for me
It was,
though.
it was so funny hearing you talk about
Yeah,
it. Like
Elijah.
wow,
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I was like, it pissed me. I did not remember that scene, and I saw it, and I'm like, what the fuck? I just, when I was watching the scene, when I watched like the music video, I was kind of like, what the fuck? But if I would look at like I guess you could say the dimensions of the screen.
The composition of the shot, like
Yeah, when I looked at the composition of the shot, it didn't piss me off as much.
Yeah, no, the shot. The
The
looked
shot
good,
wasn't bad, but I wish it was like a blank TV screen, or if it were me, maybe it was like a cartoon that's muted.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, I just thought like this goofy music video. That's such a dumb idea. God, I'm sorry. I didn't
It's
like
alright,
that
it's
part.
We all have our nitpicks.
Yeah,
once in a
that's
while.
all right.
Yeah. There's one part I really want to talk about. I forgot what it was.
What's it?
You reminded me of it when you mentioned the bassist who was in the movie.
Kim Gordon.
Oh, the fucking Yellow Book guy.
yeah,
That part was
yeah.
funny. That
yeah.
part was so funny. Like, that's very 90s. That's very like that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody
that
comes
was
in
very
interviewing
interesting.
me about the Yellow Book and like wanting to be in the pages or the Yellow Pages, whatever the fuck. it's
Movie
called.
is nostalgic in that way, because like even though we really didn't live through that, we probably saw a little bit of it.
Yeah.
in the movie like 10 years removed from the era, like
Yeah.
there's already so much has changed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot has changed. All right. You guys want to move on to Vox Lux?
Yeah.
Vox Lux.
I really like Last Day. I really like the Gus Van Sant Death trilogy, even though I don't like Jerry.
I'll have to watch
Elephant
that
and
one.
Last Days are great.
That's
They're
most
amazing.
trilogies. You get two good ones and
One of them's a shitter.
One of them's
Usually though, it's like The first one's good. The
Yeah.
middle one's like, okay, you shouldn't have done this. And then the third one's just like
Really?
it's like hot dog shit. But like,
The-
it kind of got better.
Yeah, usually
Hold
the
on.
second one.
I was gonna say, like, to me it's like
The first one's really good, and the second
second one is always
like,
the peak,
yeah.
and then third one disappoints.
Yeah, exactly. Like Matrix. No, not the Matrix. Matrix disappointed all the way through. after the first one.
Spider-Man, the Dark Knight trilogy, Godfather,
Yeah, Star Wars was like that too.
Oh.
Star Wars.
Alien.
Well, I mean, Jaws peaks at Jaws 3.
Yeah.
You could even say Jaws peaks at Jaws 4: The Revenge.
Yeah.
Have you seen the famous shot from that
Yeah,
movie?
yeah.
It's great. The fucking shark gets hit with a harpoon and then screams.
Oh shit! I'll have to watch that.
It's
Sounds
goofy.
epic.
Michael Caine's in it.
Michael Caine.
The butler from Dark Knight.
Oh, okay, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. That's cool.
Okay.
All right, Vox Lux, Anthony.
So it's like basically Elephant plus Last
Prep,
Days.
Yeah.
prep us up.
All right, so cut to 2018.
Let me check that out.
And 2018 is a very interesting year when it comes to musical films, because that was the year that Bohemian Rhapsody came out.
Yep.
But also Bradley Cooper's A Star Is Born,
Interesting.
which essentially was the one that got all the awards love for everything. Best Picture, Actor. They probably got nominated for editing, you know? And then there's this movie, Vox Lux, directed by Brady Corbet, whatever it is, who is the other guy from Funny Games, the fat guy from Funny Games.
Oh, he directed this? That's actually
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
director.
shit.
Yeah. He
That's,
was, he was
that's
only,
so cool, isn't
He
it?
was only
Why?
like 28 when he
Whoa.
made this movie.
He was like
Holy
20 when
fuck.
he was in Funny Games.
yeah.
Holy shit.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's nuts. Wow.
Yeah, he's a director now. And,
Wow.
And he won Best Director at the Venice Film
For what?
for his first film.
Which one was it?
It's like The Birth of a Leader or something like that. I haven't seen it.
And he was like fucking like 24 when he did that.
Wow.
So
for
he's like a,
He's on his
to
way.
me, yeah, he's an
Yeah,
up and
dude.
comer.
Yeah.
Like, and
Really cool.
but
Ah.
I mean, I saw like the trailer when it came out, and I thought, it did not sell me on the movie. And then no one was talking about or watching this movie, and so it kind of left my mind. I had planned to see it, and I never did.
Mm-hmm.
And so my girlfriend, we were trying to decide on a movie to watch, and then she actually was the one that recommended this one. She hadn't seen it either, but it was on both of our watch lists. And so we watch it, boom, I'm blown away. You know, all I knew, okay, Natalie Portman's in it as a pop star, and so I kind of thought it would be, and not that it isn't, but not in the way I expected it to be, because I thought it was going to be a bit more straightforward in terms of like a social, like political piece. You know,
Yeah.
when it really does take an artistic approach in terms of
Oh,
at
big
least
time, yeah.
structure, you know, and but even directorially and stylistically and visually, it is like a striking film from the first image to the last. You
Yeah.
know, all the way from Willem Dafoe's voiceover
Oh, big time.
That's
to
great,
the
dude.
film, the film photography throughout. You know, it's just it's so striking. Like choices are made, and at least in my
Like,
personal
really
opinion,
strong
choices are
yeah.
they were.
Yeah.
But what did you guys think of the movie?
I thought it was incredible.
I'm so glad you didn't
Yeah.
tell me anything about this movie.
Yeah.
That is a good thing. That's why you don't tell people about movies, because then they can have subversion.
Yeah.
On a massive.
I
massive
guess
scale.
to get into it, what did you guys think when that finally happened? Or first of all, what did you guys think about before that, when it basically shows the ending credits as the beginning?
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
thought
thought that
loved
was
that.
cool.
I thought that was sick.
That
as
was
well.
Yeah.
really
yeah.
cool.
And
I really dug it.
upon because I rewatched it before and we came on
Mhm.
and like watching it a second time, it kind of recontextualizes, because to me, putting the ending at the beginning kind of implies, okay, this is a movie about transition, about ending, you know.
Yeah.
And this movie is about a transition from pre-21st century
Yeah.
to, like, you know, in it, you
Mhm.
know. And so it's interesting to have that in there too.
Yeah, I like it when there's like information overload, like with those credits.
Yeah.
like there's you see all
It's
the
not meant
cars.
to be read; it's meant to be experienced.
Yeah,
like,
it's like
Yeah.
it's a part of the experience. It's like you see her like in her bloody face, and like the credits are rolling over. I'm like, this is like I really like.
yeah,
I like how much is going on here, and the music's really like good, and it's like really intense music.
yeah. Not even just the pop songs, but even just the score they had. I thought
the score's
was
like
great.
intimidating. It's
Yeah.
like really just like
It's creepy.
it's
very
like a,
ethereal and like yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of like there's this one Donnie Darko song like to whom the bell may toll or some shit like that. It reminds me of that. It's
The
like
Metallica song?
No.
No.
It's similar title I think.
Okay.
But it's like really just like god-like intimidating music.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Just like really, just like I don't know, describe it.
Movie has
it's like
a very
doom-like.
eerie tone.
Yeah,
Mhm.
You know.
I was throughout this movie like almost scared me. Like
It's
like,
scary.
a lot of
Oh,
it's like
dude.
terror.
When
Yeah.
when the movie ended, I couldn't stop thinking about it because like
Yeah, I'm
it-
I'm
it-
really hardcore
it-
thinking about this movie
yeah,
a lot right
it's
now.
making me
heavy.
think, but also feel like it makes me feel so like strange for some reason.
Yeah.
and I can't
The
explain
school
it.
shooting stuff is just so like that puts a taste in your mouth for the rest
It's
of the movie.
crazy, yeah.
And I'm glad you didn't tell me about it because I really was kind of expecting it to be like Black Swan, Perfect Blue.
Yeah,
Me
type
too.
of
Yeah,
idea.
me too. Yeah.
And then it starts with like this whole like
It starts in the fucking
Prelude.
School, yeah.
and you know, I really didn't even think like, okay, this is like what like makes her famous or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought like, okay, it's just like a day back from school. And then like that first shot we get of the school shooter, he is horrifying.
Yeah, it's actually
He
like
looks
it's
fucking
spooky.
scary, you know, with like those
Sorry.
goth eyebrows.
Yeah.
No, it's the he has
The
like the
eyeliner
contacts, the
recruit-
contacts.
Okay,
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, like
as
his
well.
eyes are pure black.
it's fucking creepy.
Yeah.
It's just like that's like horror movie shit.
Yeah, and
you
just
know?
the way that like it shows his shoulder and just the teacher's reaction to this kid, you know,
Yeah.
and before the shit goes
Oh.
down, it's haunting.
It's honestly like the best scene in the movie,
Yeah,
and it's the first scene, but like
but it feels like
It
an
really-
automatic hook. Like, okay,
Yeah.
what the
yes,
fuck is gonna happen?
you
in
know,
this
that's how you
movie?
get someone's attention with that, like. And then I thought like it was gonna kind of be like she knew the shooter, and
It
she
seems
was gonna like
seems
talk
she
him out
kinda
of it.
did.
And then like he shoots her, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
Like I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Like, does she just die now? Like, what is this? You know? And then you get like, in a way, it's like a framing device, but it's like an extremely effective framing
Yeah.
device.
Mhm.
You know, like that's what like propels her into stardom.
Dude, that's such. I really like that concept.
It's a great concept.
Yeah, it's such a good concept.
Mhm.
And then how like she gets popular because like she writes a song with her sister and they sing it at a vigil.
Yeah.
And the song feels so like respectful.
Yeah.
You know, like
it
that
feels
feels like
innocent.
Yeah.
yes, it feels like something that would come out of someone who just went through this trauma.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like something that brings people together,
Mhm.
and that's kind of like the theme of the movie in a way, where it's like, even though she like resorts to having her problems, like she's making something that like makes people feel happy.
Well, like that's the whole like ending sequence, like where
Yeah.
all this shit goes down, and in the final images of this, you know, this very extended like musical sequence,
Mhm.
it just cuts to her family, and after all the shit that just happened, they're enjoying the show. Everyone's in the moment.
Yes.
Jude Law's in the moment. You know, everyone's there,
And
and that's like that's the magic of pop music, right?
it's
Is that-
great because
get it.
I fucking hate pop.
Yeah.
You know, and it made me kind of like. It gave me like an appreciation for it a little bit. It gave me like it's like
Yeah.
you are allowed to appreciate things that like are simple and make you feel good,
Yeah.
you know, because that's like what gets people through like hard shit sometimes.
Mhm.
You know?
There's a quote in the movie, or that she basically says that, and that's why she loves
Yeah.
pop music, because it makes
When
you
she's laying in
feel
the
better.
bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great part.
And that's interesting too, because in rewatching the conversation they have, in terms of she's like, your music reminds me of the music that the person who attacked me listened to. That's what he listened
yeah.
to, and you know, it's just such a strange association. You know, like I don't know. I just found it interesting.
It's a good parallel.
Yeah,
You
and I
know?
feel like it's a good relation even to Elephant and Last Days. You know, in terms
Yeah,
of,
yeah. It's like my music kind of. The idea is to just like elevate your feelings while your music like dwells on like shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shitty
This
feelings.
is the only movie I've seen do pop music in like a really cool way.
Well, Perfect Blue.
I mean, that's like.
But this
Japanese
is
pop
be-
music.
this
is
is better.
This is like
This is
American
better.
pop music.
You know,
You know, there's like.
How'd you guys feel about the music?
I didn't like it, but I
Dude,
respected
the
it.
beginning song I liked like a fucking lot.
You need to hear Norby's take on this.
I was
You need to show
telling
that to
Elijah,
him,
like, oh,
man.
we should do a grunge cover on this song.
Norby figured it out, dude.
Yeah, I was like, I heard it and I was
Show it
instantly
to him.
there. Yeah, I'll show
It's
him,
really
later.
fucking good.
But yeah, the beginning song, like the second I heard the song, I was like, I thought the song was like, oh, this song's gonna suck ass.
Yeah.
And I was listening to it, I was like, oh, this song is actually like incredible.
Yeah,
this
it-
is really, I really
I
like
was
this.
I was like almost expecting it to be like super corny,
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
but it's like very beautiful.
yeah,
You know.
Yeah.
And then I like too how she just kind of has like this lisp. It's
Oh,
not
yeah, yeah.
she has something weird about the way she sings, not like in a Bjork way, but there's just something like a little off with it. It's not like your Katy Perry, Taylor Swift type of Madonna shit. There's something
It's
just
not
a
perfect.
little. Yes, there's some there's
Or even in the way, like when she
An
holds
imper-
a note, it almost feels like it's about to falter, but it never does. Her
yeah,
voice.
yeah. Do you think Natalie Portman actually like sang some of the?
I think so. Yeah. And I looked up some of the soundtrack, and they credit her under the artist.
Really?
Performer?
Yeah, okay.
That's
Performer. Yeah.
interesting.
She was amazing.
Yeah.
The really great Natalie Portman.
New
performance.
York.
Yeah, she has
New
that,
York.
and she also has like that lisp too.
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit, and it's mixed with that New York accent. I
Yeah.
didn't see Natalie Portman. I saw like the
Yeah, you
character.
see, yeah,
Estelle.
it was awesome.
Definitely, and she's got like this goth kind of tomboy
I like
vibe about
or
her.
like the whole sci-fi in terms of her album supposed to be like punk or whatever.
yeah.
And I guess I might as well get into it, but like I watched this movie and sure there's a lot of parallels, but to me this feels like this is the closest to like a depiction of Kanye as you can get.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like he has he kind of in the stage
That is awesome.
the stage chapter 2 of the movie. This happened to Kanye because like you guys know the whole Taylor Swift thing that happened. Where,
Yeah.
At the NT. Okay,
Yeah.
so that happened, and he kind of went away for a year, and he came back, and everyone calls it his best album, his magnum opus. It's called My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And so he makes this album. Boom, he reestablishes himself in the hip hop game as the #1 artist. You know,
Yeah.
he's the big Kahuna out there, right? And then he doesn't make an album or any music for 3 years because that's when he starts getting into fashion, and he like launches his Yeezy brand.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he comes back, and that's when he makes Yeezus, which is like a total like 180 on all this like sort of like I'm going back to the hip hop roots, and it's like the super like industrial like punk album.
Yeah.
That's like that, and the way he describes the album and the music too is very similar to how she describes the music in the album of her new album and stuff like that. Is like this kind of rebirth, this like electro goth, whatever
Yeah,
rebirth thing, and not even just that, but like there's a lot of stuff too. As like when Kanye was first starting, he was just in the studio all the time, and then it's a weird thing with celebrities or musicians that have like near death experiences, and then they come back and they're just like different, and that's like kind of what happened to him because I guess he was driving back home from the studio and he fell asleep at the wheel and like literally like crashed head on and shattered his whole face.
Whoa.
And
I
so
didn't
like
know that.
and so like his
Me
whole
neither.
bottom jaw is like had to be replaced.
Oh.
When he came back from that surgery, that's when he got inspired and he wrote his first like hit single. It's called Through the Wire, and he wrote it while his whole mouth was wired shut.
Whoa. That's really fucking
and
cool.
performed it like that too, and
Wow.
and that kind of reminds me of
Man,
how
you're
this movie
really
is
turning
too.
me on to Kanye right now.
I just telling Elijah this. So like, if we hang out more and stuff, I'll probably I like Kanye. He's my dude.
No, you're good.
He sounds cool.
But but then the another thing about Kanye, and what I feel in relation to this movie is that like particularly his first 3 albums were like very like down to earth. Like he was someone with a consciousness and an angle about the real world,
Yeah.
and he's speaking the truth until it gets to this point that like I was talking about when we were watching Last Days. Like you get to a certain point where you're so far removed from what's going on in the day to day.
Like just
That how are you
the public?
it's like how are you supposed to stay relevant
Yeah.
to the times. But Kanye does this interesting thing where like he's continually like kind of reinvented himself, but to himself. It's not even to the world, but to himself.
Oh,
He
that's
considers
cool.
himself different, which I respect because like a lot of people like they said they miss the old Kanye or whatever shit like that.
Yeah.
Fuck it, he's doing what he wants,
Yeah.
And I'll probably go back to him, but that's all I gotta say right now in terms of and not just that too, but like there's just a lot of stuff too about like how like not just I feel like it's one thing like in hip hop, you're supposed to write your own lyrics and shit like that. But you can say that about any songs or any genre of music, right?
Yeah.
That like there's just something about you have someone write your shit for you, right? And there's all this stuff where like Kanye and like one of his recent albums, like after he released it and the best song on there, he just went to Twitter. He's like, yeah. So someone else wrote it for me, and he called him out, gave him a shout out and called him
Oh,
like,
that's cool.
like he's the #1 ghostwriter in the industry, But then everyone was like, like
getting
come
him
on.
shit,
Like, yeah.
And then it makes me think about this movie too. Oh, another thing about this film, like in the opening images, like when it shows like the home video and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's just talking about
That's
like
pretty cool.
Celeste. it shows a girl, you know, in the cowgirl costume singing
Yeah,
and performing,
yeah.
and you think it's her the whole time because then you see the little sister, and then it's not until the end you realize, oh, she's the little sister, and like, you know, the whole thing with the big sister, that's the big sister right, there.
right.
Yeah.
To
I
me,
didn't
it's like-
catch that. I need to watch that.
That's
beginning
clever
part again.
because the big sister's the one who writes the lyrics.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I guess tying it back to the movie. Sorry about the kind of
No worries, no worries.
No,
But,
it relates to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and oh, I guess one more thing about it too is that I don't know if you guys know, but Kanye's also kind of like notorious for like going on massive like Twitter rants.
Yeah.
That like last
More.
like days, like weeks of like just saying all
Random
types of
shit.
shit. Like there's this one thing where he thought that Wiz Khalifa was shouting out his wife Kim Kardashian, but it was actually his weed brand KK. And so he,
Nice.
but also, so Wiz Khalifa was married to his ex-girlfriend Amber Rose, and so like there's
Oh.
just like, you know, some stuff there. And so when he saw that, he went on like this huge rant about like, which is Wiz Khalifa. He was like, "Don't disrespect me. I'm your elder." But at the same time, like, I like that you can wear. I like that you're tall and skinny and you wear cool jeans. Hashtag Wiz Khalifa wears cool jeans. And so he just says all this shit. But like he does that quite often. And yeah, sometimes it's like, okay, yeah, this guy I mean he's bipolar. So like
That makes sense.
so he has some like mental stuff. But the craziest thing is like he'll say some like really weird or crazy shit, and in between that are like actual nuggets of like genius.
wisdom.
He calls himself a genius, but like I'm not gonna deny it. Like he actually he's smart. Like he to me at least, and that's how kind of this movie feels in terms of like when she's having that press conference thing. It there's like a shift in the conversation when it goes from her like kind of doing like the PR like stunt to, you know what? No, I'm gonna say something. And maybe I've just watched too many Kanye interviews, but that happens in every single
Dude, you
interview.
make me really, I'm really gonna do some research on Kanye.
There's one interview from 2013 that you have to check out. I'll put it. I'll send it to you guys.
Yeah, send me a link.
Yeah.
But like, there's actually so many quotes in there where like but it's kind of funny too, because like there's this whole thing where he's like, "Rap is the new rock and roll. We're the number one rock stars, and I'm the number one rock star of them all." And then he's just staring at the interviewer guy. And then the guy's like, "It's been like that for a minute." He's like, "It's been like that for a minute. It's been like that for a minute." It's just really funny. But like at the same time, he's right, you know? Like,
Yeah.
and
He's a little pretentious, but he's also like
He's
He's
not
he's
wrong.
not wrong. He's
Yeah.
not wrong,
Yeah.
but he's really, I guess, obnoxious. But I respect that, you know?
he expresses himself.
Yeah. I'll send you a steady diet
Send me
of
like
Kanye
a
content.
playlist or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll make a playlist too,
Yeah.
because like that's another thing too. Like, so a lot of people say like he's fallen off with his music, but I kind of like his new stuff too. I feel like people just like have nostalgia for his old stuff,
Yeah.
and they just wanted him to keep on making the old stuff.
Right.
But why would he? You know, why would any artist keep making the same exact
Right.
thing?
Yeah.
He wants
I
to
agree.
grow.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Also, last thing, but I respect him too because he went to art school and he dropped out, but he was always a visual artist who just became a musician.
Interesting.
So he's very visual. And,
That's cool.
But I guess bringing it back to Vox Lux, I like it's because like it's very like eerie and like dreadful, but there are these very like brief moments of like almost levity that come in these montages. There's like 3 or 4 throughout the movie, you know, whether it be when they go to Europe and it's like shot like, you know, on like VHS or videotape,
Yeah.
you know, and then when she's at the music video, and then when they have drugs, and I like when they do drugs before the concert.
Yeah, yeah.
I like how like the shutter speeds and it's all
That
kind
was
of
pretty.
blurry.
Yeah.
That
That was very weird.
But how'd you guys feel about those moments? Because those moments, like, because like I was reading some reviews where they say like this movie's very messy and like, because like when it came out it was very mixed. You know, a lot of people kind of liked this movie. A lot of people just thought it was like there's too much going on. That it to me this movie just felt ahead
really
of its time.
disappointing. Yeah, this movie's really fucking. This movie blew my mind.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Me too.
I was really like, this movie really hit me.
It is a little uneven, I think.
I can kind of see that.
Do you have a preference on which half you like more?
I really like the first half more.
Me too.
I
Yeah.
like seeing her like recover from like the school shooter
Me too.
and just like I feel like she peaks in her like growth as a human
Yeah.
because she's coming like down from like Dark Night of the Soul is like within the first 10 minutes, which is kind of weird.
Well,
Because
Yeah.
they always tell you kind of like structure that to happen like in the third act or right before the third act.
yeah.
And it happens like within the first 10 minutes, and it's seeing her like try to rebound from it. And like she's also like a teenager, and like I guess I just have like some sympathy for her trying to like figure out like what she's trying to do in the world, you know? Like she meets this guy, this like metalhead in like fucking Sweden or something, and like it's probably like that's a new experience for her.
Yeah,
you know, she does.
It's fun to watch people go through new experiences.
You know, and then like the second half of the movie, not that like it's not, because the second half's definitely interesting. I guess it's just harder to relate with like her being older and kind of getting like the pop star ego.
Yeah,
I found it kind of very entitled at some parts. She felt very entitled.
I was just. Oh, sorry.
That was an interesting thing too, because you said it earlier, kind of, but it's like in the first half of the movie, she's basing her art off of like her life. While in the second half of the movie, like the art's really inspired by like what her like famous image has become.
Yeah.
So it's like in a way she's like making content for people that's not based on like what the people are living. You know? That's why you never sell out. Because your content will always, or like your art will always be like reflective of like,
It's just be more honest.
yeah, it'll be
more
reflective of like what most people go through.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, a celebrity's lifestyle is a lot more elevated.
Yeah.
In terms of like
yeah.
comfort, you know, and day-to-day struggles.
And just for most people, it's easier for them to, not that it's impossible
Yeah,
to sympathize with a rich person, but
It's their struggles are just so much different.
and like it's easy to call like their struggles bullshit too.
Yeah, that as well.
'Cause it's
very,
like-
it's very material.
Like she goes into the bar and she's like, "Excuse me, can you please stop playing my song?"
yeah.
Like really, it's not that big of a deal. But to her too,
Well,
if-
it's like the whole thing of her world is so different than
Yes,
anyone else on the
yes.
planet. Or
And-
like, how can we even really describe the metric of what she finds?
it's like the manager wanting to take a picture with her. The manager doesn't see it as something bad.
Yeah.
It's like just like, bitch, take a picture with me.
Yeah, he
You
was
know?
kind of annoying though. Like, in the
He
Yeah, he
was-
was. Yeah, he was annoying.
He wasn't just like, yeah, he was a bit of an asshole.
Sorry.
But still,
You're good,
like
you're good.
to most people, like if they thought like, oh, that's not that bad, they just want like their picture taken. It's like,
Yeah.
this
I
person's
mean, if
also,
you read it in like a tabloid article, you think, okay, they're overreacting.
yeah, you know. But it's like this person's also like going through shit,
Yeah.
even though they're famous. Like, she has like drug issues, she has like issues with her family.
Yeah.
She's kind of become a toxic person,
Mm-hmm.
and she's trying to like rediscover herself, sort of.
Yeah.
I guess one thing I was saying about what you're saying right there, I did find it kind of interesting structurally in terms of like, yeah, we see her experience and grow as a person throughout the first half, and then she stops doing that in the second half. But I think it's kind of interesting too that, because like I guess if I were to structure the movie, I might have like a middle a part in between here where it is kind of just shit before like the kind of triumph at the end. But I kind of like how it just cuts to the part where we're at to imply that the last 15 years she did peak there, and she's
Yeah.
just been at this.
Do you guys
like,
think that the ending is a happy ending or a bad ending or like a sad ending, good ending? Or how do you guys feel about the ending?
It's hard. It was really hard to tell her, because I thought about that.
Yeah.
Because in movies like this, where it's kind of like, dang, look at all the shit they do, but in the end it works out for them, right?
Yeah.
But like, I think it sort of implies that, but when I finish this movie, I'm still left with this weird feeling.
No,
in
yeah,
my
it's not.
gut.
I don't think see this as a good ending.
It's
at
like
all.
a false victory.
No, it's because
kind of.
she it's like it's malicious. Like the ending's malicious.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%. I mean the whole narration, the last narration.
Oh yeah, I want to talk
yeah,
about that.
like that's like the whole the
Yeah.
really like that was so fucking smart. So that whole ending narrative changes the whole movie.
Yeah, no,
Like I
really.
went back and I rewatched it and I have this new information and it's like this
No,
movie's actually like almost like
Like the
borderline.
devil-
There's a
it's like this
scene-
movie's borderline
Oh,
like
okay.
violent, like
Yeah,
anti-Christian.
it's really
incredible. This is
that
fucking
about her
awesome.
actually, like, you can't stop thinking about that.
I can't stop.
afterwards.
Yeah, the second they said that, it's like that really is like sent chills down my spine.
But
This
like,
movie creeps me out.
there's a part right when she's in the hospital with her sister. She wakes up and she tells her sister, "I think I just did something really, really awful." And then the scene ends.
Dude, fucking. There's a scene.
Oh,
you know
shit.
how they end it. It's
Yeah.
like there's like one for the money, two for the show.
No,
Yeah.
that's the thing too. Like, she says that multiple times. throughout the
yeah, I
movie.
know. I went back and I watched a few scenes. And
Really?
She says that. Yeah, she says that in the movie. Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
it's like
shit.
it's some
Yeah.
like devil chant or something.
Yeah.
It's kind of spooky. Like,
Dude, it's like,
Okay.
dude, this movie's like a
getting
fucking
chills
sick,
right
dude.
now.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting chills too.
I didn't really. I thought of that more as just like.
No, that movie really.
It's
I
kinda
kind
funny
of thought
as
it's just
it.
like as like something she said. But like, if you actually think of that as being like a possibility, that's kind of free. It is. Kind
And then that's why it also makes me
It's
think about
demonic.
like people
Yeah.
like Kanye, people because like this happens to a lot of like musicians. They're like
Yeah.
they have near death experiences right before they make it.
Yeah.
Like they're like this like we call it a new lease on life, but dang, what if they really did make a deal with the devil?
It's like that whole Robert.
Because I mean, like
That's-
being that big and like becoming like a god, like a false god, is like it's borderline a sin.
She
you know?
calls
Yeah.
people.
to have that many people like worshiping.
yeah,
you, you know?
false worshiping idols.
Yeah, yeah.
She refers to
Don't create
people as
idols.
like her angels.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
like a Lady Gaga thing because she called all her.
So what is
My
what is,
Little
all right, so what is
Monsters.
Vox Lux? What does that mean?
Oh.
Voice of light.
Yeah.
Voice of light.
Yeah.
So then like that makes a lot of sense because I mean like Lucifer is like angel of light.
Oh
you know,
yeah,
so-
and when I was rewatching it,
okay.
you know the scene at the candlelight vigil, it kind of starts like a medium and it pushes in, but it gets lower and lower until we're on the slow angle on her, and
It's
then
like we're worship. Yeah, and
the
then the
cross
cross
is
in the
right
back.
next
Yeah.
to her. Like it's meant. Okay,
Oh,
this song is
shit.
what makes her into a deity.
Yeah.
You know.
There's like a lot of
Jesus
religious
Christ.
symbolism.
Yeah.
in
Or
this
even
movie.
just she's saying like, I used to believe in God too.
Yeah.
But
I
now
was
you
gonna
can
bring
believe
that
in
up.
me, and that's another thing. Kind of
That
like
was intense. That was a really intense line.
Yeah,
she has a lot
yeah.
of really intense like
It-
lines like that later in the movie.
Mhm.
It's like because in the first half of the movie she's very like religious, and in the second half it's like she is God now.
Yeah.
Or she calls herself a queen.
yeah.
You know, I forget exactly how that line goes, but she was like saying like she was sad how she thought she looked ugly.
Yeah.
And is that the breakdown scene you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was. It's a pretty long
Apparently,
take,
that's
too.
the same
Yeah.
dressing room where the Black Swan one was filmed as well.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I don't remember the Black Swan one, but I remember Black Swan.
It-
Black
it's-
Swan is kind of similar to this, and just like I kind of thought it was gonna have like a Black Swan ending.
Yeah, where like in terms of like
Have you
all
seen
the
Black Swan?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Don't
Oh.
spoil it. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I just want to make sure. But I was kind of like at least surprised that
I did want a little bit more from the ending, but that last monologue was really like my climax.
the end.
Like,
Yeah,
I had to rewind it. to-
everything that
for
Willem
that.
Dafoe says, you're just like,
Yeah.
his voice is fucking creepy.
It really like that really worked for me a lot in this movie. The narration.
or even just maybe it's his delivery, but he's saying stuff like when the 9/11 bit happens, you know.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is the moment where the two
Just
sisters
separate. Or,
and go in like completely contradictory pathways,
Yeah.
you know. Oh, what did you guys think about like the casting choice to have her
was gonna-
daughter be played by the
I like
same
it.
actor and the sister be the same actor too?
Yeah, the sister doesn't age at all.
I kind of like that because it kind of implies that like she's never been able to progress past that moment in
oh,
their life.
interesting.
Yeah, she's just always stuck there.
And
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
well, like there's a thing too where like before when they were younger, like Celeste, like everyone knows you're the pretty one and the talented one, and I guess she doesn't age, and you know she looks way better, and you know stuff.
Yeah,
She was a
yeah.
star, like that's
She
like
writes
the
the
ideal
songs.
person.
Mhm. It was-
I almost thought the first scene we see with like Natalie Portman greeting like her sister and her daughter, I thought like the sister was also supposed to be the daughter. Like she had
Me
two
too.
daughters.
Me too. That's what I thought at
Okay,
first too.
And then I was kind of confused.
yeah, I was confused as well. That part was.
It took
threw
a
me off.
second to
Yeah.
like yeah.
I love the argument they have though, where she's like, sometimes it looks like the world is just happening to you, and your jaw goes slack.
Yeah, that
and
was
then
brutal,
cuts-
dude.
it
That was
cuts
That
to-
was fucking brutal.
You look
Christ.
like a retard.
That,
Yeah.
That felt like a genuine like argument too. I didn't.
Yeah.
none
That
of
was
none of that
dirty.
felt contrived. Yeah, it was just
That
like
was
that's such
so
a
nasty.
hard line to hear.
She like knew what to say to like make her feel.
Dude, yeah, dude,
'Cause
that's
she
that's
didn't
some,
like
that's
being
some shit my
cussed at
brothers
either.
told me too, dude. Like,
Oh,
for,
yeah.
like, you look like a fucking retard.
Yeah.
You look like you're actually retarded.
It's like they piss you off and you have
Yeah,
to
I was
say
like,
something
dude,
to
like
make
you're
them mad.
being a dick. But yeah, man, this movie's especially like the first act is really just like I don't know, there's something off. Like it really makes you feel off, and like seeing her, you know, coming to stardom, and like she's progressively doing more like like party things, and she's like really
Yeah.
like losing her innocence. It's like what, like 14.
Yeah.
Like it's really intense.
Yeah.
Like it's really like she's like sleeping with like way older men. Like these guys are in their 20s, and she's like
Or
not
even
of
that it's
age.
implied, you know, because there's a shot with young her and Jude Law at the bar kind of together.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's like there's something like there's something almost like sinful watching like a young girl being able to like go out and do all these
Yeah.
all these
Yeah,
things. Like,
the
it
loss
feels-
of
it feels,
innocence
yeah, it feels
of a
like
young girl.
it feels so like
That's interesting.
vile almost, but it's like they're not gonna they're young and they want to grow up.
It's like a rape
Yeah.
of innocence type.
Yeah,
of
it's
thing.
like really
Yeah.
intense. Yeah. and especially for somebody who just like went through like a shooting, like that in itself is like so
That
violent.
scene just like sticks in the back of my mind the whole time too.
It really sets up the tone. Yeah.
It's a great like story about trauma.
Mm-hmm.
How like
It's so interesting too that like he shoots the teacher, but then he kind of stops and takes the contact. He kind of like has a moment of like pause. Or, yeah.
Yeah. And it looked like he was
that guy was creepy, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is a really intense movie.
Cinematography was great too.
Oh yeah, it looked good.
They're like a lot of kind of like dull colors.
Yeah.
I guess you could
film shot on film, but it was.
Yeah, it was.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
I just loved how
I read that.
how it looked. I was reading the IMDb and they were talking. I guess he originally wanted to shoot on 65.
Yeah.
But it was too expensive, so they shot on 35. Which,
That would have looked crazy though.
if it was on 65,
That'd be like super widescreen.
No, that's
or-
no. 65 is just like a larger like negative. Like 65 is
It
like
takes up more
this,
space?
and 35 is like this. Yeah. It's,
Oh,
it's just
okay,
more
okay.
information, richer, But yeah, shot on film. But not even just that. Like when I was rewatching it, even just like small things with the lighting, like the way they lit the ballet room when she's learning her choreography for the first time. I was like, wow, this is actually.
It's pretty
like,
cool.
Very
Yeah.
visually.
Very dark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lots of dynamic.
It's dark, but like the same way like the garage, the light was coming out there before, but it was like these windows on the bottom. It's like, wow, this just like, it could have been anything. They could have just lit the house lights, but this looks nice.
Jude Law.
He did a good job. He did
All
a good job.
Amazing.
performances all the way
Yeah.
around were
Yeah.
great.
That voice. He almost has like a Willem Dafoe voice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting his voice to be that deep.
Because like he's like got that really like British accent.
Proper.
And now he's like talking like a high school football coach from the 50s or something.
Oh, what do
Yeah.
you guys think of the second shooting?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You guys wear the mask. This is gonna be. I was just thinking about this. It's really interesting. You guys gonna say anything?
Oh, I thought you were
No,
gonna-
I want to hear what you guys are gonna say first.
I feel like it's interesting, but they didn't really like delve into it too much.
I was just.
That is kind of one of my complaints with the movie is it doesn't feel complete to me.
I agree a little bit.
I
yeah.
feel like it's kind.
It's
not that
missing. Like
it's missing
something.
missing
It's
one
missing-
thing. Yeah,
it's
just
missing,
one
like-
thing.
to make it
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Because like
It's so close. It's
It-
like stupid fucking close
Yeah.
to being like a masterpiece.
I feel
Yeah.
like the 15-year jump is almost like it's too much.
You need something in between.
Kind of, yeah. And I don't have anything wrong with like an awkward structure, but it just doesn't like it doesn't feel woven together,
Yeah.
you know?
Which.
'Cause
Sorry.
with the whole shooting thing, it doesn't really get touched on too much.
No.
And that's like
I
what
think
starts
they
that
do give
part.
you they give you all the information I think you need though. Like this like to figure it out you have to think about it.
I feel like the whole shooting thing has to do with the whole devil thing.
I agree
where, like,
100%. Yeah.
If she
Okay.
continues
yeah.
to be famous, we need almost like a blood sacrifice.
Mhm.
And so,
Uh-huh.
because also the same thing with she had her own deadly car crash,
Right.
and so like, and then also her eye got basically sacrificed,
Yeah, yeah.
from the drugs.
It's like an omen.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think as her life continues, and like she's just caught a decades long witch hunt ever since the incident,
Yeah.
in terms of like. It doesn't come without its own like you have to pay for this,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
which is interesting.
You gotta think about it a little bit.
But I was also thinking, because I don't know if you guys remember, but around the time this movie came out, Ariana Grande, like she had, like someone shot up her concert or something like that, and it was like a big controversy.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's just so interesting too, because there's so many things in this movie like it didn't happen yet, but
Yeah.
it was, it's just so, I feel like accurate in its depiction of just like this shit happens, I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, when she had the whole press conference, she was telling those guys to like, oh, come over to my concert, worship me.
Yeah.
Sounds
I was
like
I was
something-
expecting that to be like the con.
So,
the
yeah,
con-
that's
the
kind of-
climax. Yeah,
That's why I was kind of confused when like the ending is just like her,
just doing the concert.
Yeah.
which is like, I guess it surprised me.
Yeah.
Well, I
it
guess-
didn't do what I expected it to do, I guess.
I feel like it makes it more almost real life, because like I guess in like a normal like one level removed from reality, yeah, the terrorists would hear that automatically on a flight over, shoot at this place, but really they would see this and then okay, she's calling us out or whatever shit or whatever. But I do agree that like it feels out of left field.
And then
Yeah.
isn't that the scene to start off like part 2?
yeah.
So it really like that's the first segment of that portion of the movie. And I feel like since it's the first segment, it should have more. It seems to have more importance, and then the importance kind of dies off.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna like turn into like, okay, this is just like a gun violence type of thing.
It does tie
But
into the
it ties into the theme.
the narration.
No, it ties into the narration, but I thought it was gonna like come around again.
It
Especially
kind
because
of does, because it's like they're wearing her masks, and so it's like in a way it's almost like they're like worshiping her, like, and she's like a false god, right? And she made a deal with the devil to come back and change the world, and it's like she's changing the world through like somehow non-directly like inspiring these like shootings all of a sudden, like being affiliated with them in some way.
When's the last time it gets mentioned?
What do you mean?
Like the gun violence thing. Is it
I
at
think it's
the
at that
interview?
last interview? Yeah, I think so.
I almost feel like it has to come back around again. I don't know. To me, it just didn't feel complete.
Yeah, I agree. It didn't feel complete, but like
you give this segment a lot of importance, and then you kind of like half finish it.
yeah,
That's what I felt about that.
yeah.
And I mean, I feel like it worked better for you guys in that aspect. I like the movie a lot, but like that part just takes me a little bit out of it.
Gotcha.
It needs to come back around a little more. And I thought it was just like, so there's the prelude, then there's part 1,
Act 1.
then
Yeah.
there's part 2, and then part 3.
There's no part 3. It's just part 2, right?
No, there's finale.
Oh, yeah, finale.
So that's
There's
like
Genesis, Regenesis.
Yeah.
And
So
finale.
wait.
Yeah.
So is like the finale supposed to be like equal in terms of time to like the prelude? Like, are they supposed to be like equal segments?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's just for the story, just the
Okay.
structure, the way they structured it, I guess.
Because it's just strange because the prelude maybe takes place over like a few months.
Something like that.
Then part
maybe.
1 probably takes place over like a year or 2.
Yeah.
And then part 2 takes place in like a day.
Yeah,
And then finale takes place in like several hours.
yeah,
I think that's also maybe a reflection of the times and how the times have changed and how things go in and out of the consciousness so quickly.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of, I feel like
That's possible.
when like a school shooting happened back in the day, wow, everyone knows about Columbine
Yeah.
or whatever stuff.
has a longer impact.
I can't really name in like the past 2, like, but I guess pre-COVID, you know, whatever shootings happened, like where they were or stuff. I knew that there was a considerable amount maybe, but I don't really remember.
You don't remember the names as much as
Yeah.
like the first big one. I don't know. I just feel like the last 2 acts don't hold the same.
Well, to me it feels like
Value.
the first half is so engaging and it leads you up to this peak that like I don't know where you can go to just keep going up. And so it goes on this down, but it almost takes the whole rest of the half of the movie to bring you back to that point where you were. But you
Yeah.
almost feel like it's not where you were before. You want to exceed that point, and you don't exceed it. You kind of
I remember feeling that as I was watching. So like I was like, I want more. Like I felt like I didn't like. I just want like more, like of the movie. Like I almost want like a sequel. But like I know you can't do that. But it's
Yeah.
like I really liked the world. I really liked.
It
how
feels like
anxious I felt.
Yeah.
Like I really felt
Yeah.
creeped out.
2 different movies, kind of.
But I liked how toxic she was. Like
Oh,
I
yeah,
like
she
how
was
like
great.
she was like really just like the celebrity lifestyle like really has just like ruined her life in a really bizarre way that you can't fathom. It's like being that popular and being that well known by so many like millions and millions of people is just like it's like you're a monster.
It gives you like a mental illness.
Yeah, it gives you. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
It's like it transforms your life in a way that's like disgusting. Like
You
it's
are
such
an
a sin.
idol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like there's no way around it. And I like how disgusting it is. It's like, especially like being in like a big concert, right? Like being in concerts with like that many people is like it's like a scary thing. Like having people like whenever there's like masses of people involved in like one thing, that's like a scary concept to me because it's like
Me too,
people die in concerts, you know, like
Yeah.
there's concert
there's
get
fires.
trampled
something
and
about
shit.
that communal energy that feels like
Yeah, it's
hypnotism
like the,
or something.
the mob energy. It's like there's something that's
Yeah.
scary about that, and like you being at the head of that, and like there's no way to control it, and you're just like you're constantly worrying about like how you're coming off as, you know, you have to apologize.
You
Whenever,
need to
like,
please
Yeah,
everybody.
you need to please everybody. And it's like, or if you don't, it's like you're gonna get like torn to shreds. You know. It's
Yeah.
like you're just being held up here. And it's like she's living in hell almost. And I just really like how they tie it to Satan, like Satanism.
No, that's clever.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that the way
It's-
you guys did.
It's also interesting too in terms of, I mean, she makes like a quick remark that she doesn't even make any money from touring but she spends most of the time touring, you know?
Yeah.
And if that's true to most, like, pop stars or really big artists, then it seems like touring is maybe sometimes for the sake of the music, but mostly for the sake of the celebrity,
Yeah.
you know?
Being an idol.
Yeah. And really being addicted to that, and that kind of circling into, okay, we need to make more music so we can stay
Yeah.
relevant.
People can worship you.
Yeah.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, this is definitely
Good commentary on like pop star life.
I agree.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like the character arc here was like awesome. Like I really like the character arc. Like the way she starts out and the way she ends is just
Yeah, it is
incredible.
cool to
It's
see
incredible.
how different she is
Mhm.
after like 15 years.
Like, that's the thing she tells the school shooter, we could pray
You
together.
pray, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And she still goes and
That
she
was a
prays,
great
and-
that was a great line. Telling the school shooter to pray with you.
Or you know what else? You know the part was good when she was going up onto the stage and she's like with the other dancers and they're like hyping themselves up. Like it's like, man,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
you have
Yeah,
to really,
that was
like
cool.
get pumped up
No,
to
it's
go up on
a
stage.
real thing, yeah, like
Yeah.
experience.
It's like
Yeah,
that's like
so-
like you're going out to perform in front of millions of people. It's like I can't even fathom.
You're getting like the adrenaline going.
It's
That's
so
crazy.
fucking nuts. Like millions and millions of people are gonna be looking at you, and like
And you can't fuck up.
yeah, you can't fuck up. It's like that's just fucking mind.
There's like that one line where like she's kind of like drunk and like not really able to walk.
yeah,
And they
Yeah.
say to like one person like, if anyone takes a picture of her, you're fucking fired.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
imagine that's
yeah.
like what their job is like. It's like
Yeah.
if you fuck up this choreography, you're done.
I can only
You know?
imagine how many times it happens, you know, in like a
Oh,
real,
yeah,
in real
dude.
life, you know, where like if you're just working around, then you just see shit all the time.
yeah,
But then you see them as a celebrity, you know, like these gods that can't do no wrong, you know.
yeah.
But then I think about the times where like you sometimes like I'd say about most of the time all the shit happens behind the scenes and they get on the stage and it works out for the most part.
Yeah.
But the ones where they fucked up all the way until they get on the stage and they're still fucked up, you're like, oh god. Like I think about like Amy Winehouse's last performances or like
Oh, did
you know,
she have like bad last
it's
performances?
like she was really fucked up.
Oh, shit.
She's not singing. She kind of just mumbling.
Oh,
She doesn't
fuck.
know her word, the lyrics. Or I remember like it was a recent New Year's like thing like on like one of the TV channels, and Mariah Carey's on there performing. I don't know if you guys remember, but then it was awful. She wasn't
Really?
singing. She was just like
Shit.
there. She kind of just like she knew she fucked up, and it made her fuck up even more. And you're just like, dang. I don't know.
That's sad.
That is sad.
I don't know. I'll speak to Mariah Carey. It's interesting too in terms of her career because I remember something happened like in the early 2000s where like she kind of had a meltdown and just started taking off her clothes like on this like interview thing, and just walked off.
Well,
Uninteresting enough. It also reminded me of Britney Spears too, or
with
made me
the
think
lip
about her.
sync thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I guess there's a new Britney Spears documentary or something came out. And
I think I heard about
obviously there's the Free Britney movement. Free Britney.
that. Is she in jail or something?
Nah, so like there's this whole thing where like ever since like she had the breakdown where she like shaved her head and shit, like there was this court mandated thing, I forget what it's called, but basically her manager and her father basically own her. Like
Whoa.
she's not allowed to make decisions for herself like
Oh,
at
that's fucked
all.
up.
And she's like in her late 30s now.
That's
She doesn't control any of her own money. She can't even get married without asking for their permission. Like shit like that. And so like there's this whole thing. It's called the Free Britney movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Imagine
And-
being owned by your lawyer.
There's all these like theories too where like people will pull up stuff from the comments like, Britney, in the next photo, wear a yellow shirt if you need help. And then she'll do it, and then everyone just goes crazy because it's happened like multiple times.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's true or not, but it is an interesting thing, the Free Britney movement. I don't know, pop stars.
Good commentary on pop. Let me
Yeah.
grab some more real fast.
I'm gonna join you.
Good commentary.
Yeah, this is good. I was
That
like,
was a good
I was
recommendation.
enthralled by this movie. This movie really blew my mind.
I'm glad you guys liked it. I really wanted you guys to see it too.
Oh, nice. Let me get water. Look at my phone. What is this guy saying? Yup. Two viewers. Still two viewers. Nice. wonder if you guys watched the movies. Oh, Sahil sent me a text. What did he say? All right, so for the people that are watching, which happens to be 2 of you, this is a selfie stick tripod. So it sticks out like that, like a tripod. But it also happens to stretch out like a selfie stick. You see that? I was explaining to the audience what a selfie stick tripod was.
Oh, nice. Oh, do we have any listeners?
There's 2 people apparently.
What's up, film fans?
But yeah, Vox Lux. I still feel like talking this movie like a lot, dude. I like this movie really has
That
me
was an
feeling a lot.
experience.
This is really heavy.
You just, it's one of those things too, where like, yeah, I still think about it. It's just, I don't know,
Like,
the
even-
whole devil thing really does like, it
It
really
really
got to me.
changes. Yeah, it really changes the way I think about it like a lot, because it's like there's like almost real world applications, not applications, but I mean like just getting that popular and that big is just such a bizarre life. I mean, like even just like her loss of innocence is like almost tragic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just like the whole time watching it, it felt like just like going like downhill. It's like really fast, and then you hit the whole the Satan narration, and it's just like really just like the whole thing just like I get it. It's like I understand the whole movie now. Like it makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like that really was like the climax for me.
Do you think that like in the second half, like she still remembers she made that deal, or like you think
It almost seems like she doesn't.
like she forgot that happened, and that's the reason why she's there.
I almost feel like, yeah, it seems like she forgot about it. And it's like she's just like really embraced like who she's becoming. You know, it's like
Yeah,
and she doesn't seem like she wants to change.
She
you
got
know?
caught up in being an idol and forgot like the consequences.
I mean, not just that. I mean, like it seems like she forgot like, or I don't know.
No, just
I
like
don't
she
know.
forgot. Like, did
She forgot the deal almost.
Yeah, did she still say like the chant before she went in for the stage for the last time? I don't remember.
After the first half of the movie, I didn't catch it, but I
Yeah.
didn't catch it when I heard it the other times either. I had to go back and I rewatched a few scenes and I caught it the second time. I was like, wow, I can't believe this movie is really blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, just
It feels like such a
you
good
just
experience.
just find
yeah.
that scene too where she says, "I think I just did something very."
I need to find that
terrible,
one
really
too. That's
terrible."
really fucking
That's
cool.
like that's
like
in the
it-
beginning.
Yeah,
in the hospital.
it's a hospital scene with her and her sister.
Oh, it's so good. Like that's almost like a story from the Bible.
Yeah,
It comes back on.
no,
itself
because like
nicely.
literally, like they're having a conversation, and out of nowhere she says it, and then the scene kind of just ends. Like you don't even remember it happening.
Yeah.
You know? She's like almost like she doesn't. You know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think part of the reason why I like the movie so much is because there's a video I saw a while ago explaining like the apocalypse and stuff like that, and how that trying to apply it to like real world and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And so they were applying it a lot to like the Antichrist and stuff like that, and how there's gonna be like a sudden emergence in like anti-Christian like culture and like ideas and stuff like that. And you kind of do see that right now with our culture, like
Yeah.
like you're worshiping a lot of false idols, right? Consuming any type of drug. There's a lot of people are like vaping and
Anti-drug,
weed.
yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people are like drinking, sex, premarital sex. There's a lot of that going on right now. It's like most of the people in our generation are anti-Christian. Like
Yeah.
they're not wrong in that way.
Yeah.
And it's like that's sort of like the way I see the movie right now. Like all the people in that concert are like anti-Christian. Like they're worshiping somebody who is
They like
rejuvenated
Celeste
by
more than Jesus.
yeah.
Yes, Celeste is cooler than
that's
Jesus.
crazy.
Yeah.
Or like Anthony's like worshiping like somebody who not worshiping
Yeah.
or not
I sometimes I worship Kanye.
yeah. Or like even you, Elijah, you're worshiping like
Kurt
Cobain. Yeah. It's
Good
just
commentary on that too.
yeah.
The way.
Yeah, because the movie made me think about myself and my own like appreciation or obsession or fascination with like people like Kanye or other
Yeah.
stuff too.
Yeah.
Because like it's a thing too where like I do have people that like I almost like feel affection towards because I respect them or their work inspires me so much, like Kanye or like a Spike Jonze or Edgar Wright or something.
I know what
you
you
know?
mean.
Mhm.
I felt that way like when I really got into Nirvana.
Yeah.
It just connects with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if you feel it feels like it becomes a part of you.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a popular thing, it feels like your own.
Yeah, it's like they kind of made it for you
Yeah.
in a way.
But not only that they made it for you, but then it goes on to shape you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is so interesting.
It's like you're made to go down this path.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the whole anti-Christian thing. I've been getting a lot
That's
more
really
obsessed with like,
clever.
anti-Christian stuff. It's like it's like there's a lot of connections to like how I see culture and youth nowadays to like that movie, and I think it's just gonna get a lot more profound.
And it's only over like 20 years, kind of.
Yeah.
Do you think? But you think it may just come in like waves? Because like that's kind of what the '60s were, like anti-Christian, the free love era.
That's when it was starting. But
No,
it, like,
I mean like there's periods because like there's a whole bunch of stuff like urban like the 1920s, you know, with the whole like I forget what the name of the girl was, but you know there's those girls. The hoppers, whatever they fucking were, not the hoppers.
You guys want to know some shit?
Wow.
Fucking I saw this video explaining like how the current state of technology and like how, you know, the iPhone, like how addicted people are to it and stuff like that. And this guy was explaining how Steve Jobs came up with the idea for the iPhone, or like just like Apple in general. And he said that he was doing acid. You know, like he was really
he was a really big psychedelics
he was
guy.
obsessed with like
They read this one book and it changed his life.
Yeah, he was
sweet.
obsessed with like the '60s, right? And like like that whole
that's
like
cool.
free love, whatever. And you know they decided to do Apple, and this guy in the video made it's really smart. He compared the company Apple to the fruit of knowledge. And it's like it's so smart because like the iPhone is like the fruit of knowledge, you know, like we
you can ask it anything.
Yeah, but it's also like it's coming with like this huge double-edged sword because we're like we're bringing humanity into like this really weird technological like internet state. It's like he's
the original sin.
Yeah, it's the first sin, right?
You can
we're making like a first really big sin.
That's actually really crazy.
But it's like that's not like a story thing. That's like a real world thing.
It gives you like
is that creepy?
Anxiety.
Yeah, it's creepy, right? It's like the humanity's going down this weird rabbit hole right now that's connecting to the Bible.
I'm sorry, I had to bring it up one more time, but that's why Kanye's so interesting because he is now a reborn Christian, like born again Christian.
I heard about that.
Yeah, he's like a super like Christian guy now. But
Maybe
I don't know.
something.
Yeah, I think like no, he also says this in a lot of interviews where he's not speaking. He lives now, but he's speaking to the future, and that's how it kind of feels when you watch his old stuff. And
Really?
Like that's how he lives his life. So it's kind of crazy.
That's weird.
So,
It's crazy. I was writing a monologue called "Hello Future."
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really
That's
like
cool.
it so far. But yeah, I don't know. It's stuff with the Bible like that, and whenever it connects to like real world stuff, and like this movie, I don't know. This movie just is like really effective for me. I was totally in like 100% the right frame of mind for this movie. I just like how the whole thing is like an experience. Like even the way they show the title, it's like the title. There's a bunch of text next to it.
Yeah.
He
No,
says-
yeah, because it's like 21st century portrait.
Yeah.
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 It says Vox Lux by Brady Corbet.
Yeah.
It's
I like
weird.
how it
It's
looks.
weird just to see like the title of the movie and then by the director.
Yeah.
It's just
It's like all this text all in the same.
It feels
You know,
authorial.
usually they'll do it where it's like Gus Van Sant's Last Days.
Yeah.
You know.
It's I think just stylistically too, in terms of a lot of long takes in this movie as well too.
Yeah, they were
Like,
really
I think
good.
about this one when like the first time they show her at the studio, and it's like a little bit of a wide angle, but it's just like on her face, and then it pulls out into like a two shot of them. You know? But yeah, just a lot of long takes, and just a lot of like bold like editing choices I would say in this movie too.
Oh fuck yeah,
Just like
dude,
just
for
like,
sure.
the way especially when it cuts to location transitions.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Like there's the very first one when it just shows the city in Staten Island, and like this like the lamps turning on and shit. It's just, but it feels so. For some reason, it feels to me like it's a little like intimate, you know.
Yeah.
And then the New York shit where it like these very like iconic things with like just striking images, you know. Every cut like it feels abrasive almost, and the music playing too. But then this one isn't a location one, but one of my favorite transitions is it's just like this helicopter shot of the city, and then like it's just like the rock, the grunge music playing, and then it's like kind of like the strobe flashing.
Oh
into
yeah.
the next
I
thing,
remember
you know?
that shot. Yeah.
I'm like fuck yeah, and that feels like a film thing too, just like double exposure. It's like whoa, that's cool.
Yeah. I agree.
It like fades into the next shot kind of.
Yeah.
So those parts, I had this idea like literally like, maybe like under a month ago. We were driving through the strip, kind of like on the highway on the 15. We were driving up, listening to music really fucking loud. I was looking out the window, and I was just looking at the buildings pass by. Like, there's certain parts of the highway where like it curves, like the buildings are almost like curving with you. And I had this idea to do something called like building horror, where it's like you take like really intense music and like sound design, and you like show these buildings and try to make them like scary.
Yeah.
Like make them like try to scare the
Ominous.
audience, like make them look ominous.
Make you feel small.
And this movie does that.
Yeah.
Like this is the only movie I've ever seen do that. Like they make buildings look scary.
Yeah.
Like, they show the new World Trade Center, and it's like it hits you. It's like really just like they try to like make you think about 9/11 with that.
I feel like just how and how much like cities or like urbanness is just like spread, you know, like in terms of the rural areas just getting smaller and smaller. And that's how it makes me feel about cities. Like cities are just like these scary, like these big
they're
places.
terrifying. Yeah, cities are scary.
And like even like the first shot of New York isn't even of them. It's just like the bustlingness of people basically clashing against each other, you know. And that's kind of how like, because like sometimes I feel like I was telling Elijah about this, but I don't know if I told you about this too, Norby. But like that, like places like New York or like urban like these super centralized areas, they kind of like slowly spread, you know, to the country and to culture at large, you know. Yeah. And so it eventually feels like at one point, like at a certain point, Las Vegas or another city will become that way, where like. I was listening to someone talking. They said like supposedly like 1 million more people are moving to Las Vegas within like the next year or two.
What the fuck?
Dude, Vegas is like a popping city. It's gonna get huge.
And so like I imagine so when I saw that shot, it just made me think of like places like this, you know, that are on the cusp of becoming something.
I think Vegas is a good place to be right now.
Yeah, right now.
It's gonna suck when everyone gets here, though.
Yeah.
By then,
I don't want it to turn into like a New York or some shit.
I feel like it'd be more like LA.
There'll be more opportunity, you know.
Yeah, I mean there'll be more work here in our backyard.
Yeah, exactly. Like take advantage of all the opportunity, and then like leave when it gets to like when it gets like current LA. You want to be in LA when it's like just before the 2000s, you know.
Yeah.
That's kind of where Vegas is heading right now, which I'll be very happy about. Hopefully, it's like that in our 20s.
I think so.
That'd be
I have a feeling about it.
I have a feeling about
our
it too.
20s.
Yeah, I feel it.
Be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I really dug this movie a lot. Like even the credits,
that was
the
cool.
credits is so cool because like you can kind of read it, you can choose to not read it if you want, but it's like the information's there, you know. It's like the credits don't need to be like obvious, you know. They're there. You can go and like pause it.
They're like almost artistic.
Yeah, it's like they're giving you the information. It's like, all right, you know, it's all here.
It looks
all the
cool.
stuff is here. Yeah.
It kind of goes up the screen the wrong way too.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, they did it in kind of a weird way.
Yeah. Very unconventional.
Yeah, this was a really effective movie for me.
I don't understand how it didn't get talked about as much.
Me neither.
And there's like big actors in it.
So under the radar,
you know,
it's crazy.
like Natalie Portman, Jude Law.
This movie almost reminded me of like in terms of like how it made me feel. It was like a little bit of Social Network. Because it's like really intense without showing you violence. Like this movie reminds me of like watching violence without seeing any violence. You know?
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I guess just the tone and mood it captures is just so striking. You know? And I guess it falls in line with I think the other movies we've talked about in terms of using the form to its full potential.
Definitely.
You know, it feels like a very like formalistic movie. Yeah. And I guess I just respect movies that are like that.
Me too.
And while it being so formal, it never gets away from I feel like the truth of the scenario or the situation. Yeah. Which is very impressive, I think.
1 for the money, 2 for the show. Then is it 3 get ready, and then 4 is like just come with me.
I don't remember.
I think it was something like that.
Yeah.
I think it was like something like that.
Well, it should be on the IMDb quotes. I thought it was gonna. There's like that Elvis song.
Yeah.
Like one
blue suede shoes.
Yeah. Don't step on. I thought it was gonna say that or
Me
something.
Too.
And I was like, Vox Lux. What an interesting name.
And I guess his the director, his partner. I don't know, because like I think he refers to her as his partner, but it's like his girlfriend, his wife, whatever, his partner. Yeah. She co-wrote the movie with him.
Oh, that's cool.
And she co-wrote the first movie with him too, so they're collaborators.
Nice. Okay, nice.
What was I gonna say? Did you guys hear about Sia? Because like she
didn't
directed
see
a movie.
Yeah.
I didn't.
It's called
didn't know that.
Music.
It's supposed to be dog shit.
Yeah, it's like it's like an autism movie. It's about
Whoa.
autism.
They talk about it on Sardonicast, and it's really funny
But-
because they trash the shit
yeah,
out of it.
everyone says it's actually awful, and you know, Sia, she helps make a movie like this, which feels like such a common, so very like socially aware.
Yeah.
And then
And it's crazy that she goes on to make something that feels so far removed from basic, like, you know,
People
logic.
said it was like offensive.
Yeah,
But
and-
like actually like offensive.
And like,
like,
but it's crazy too, cause like the main actress who's like her muse, she's like in all of Sia's music videos and shit like that. Like went up and confronted Sia about this. Like, I don't feel comfortable doing this, and Sia's like, trust me, and you know, really, and like she comes off so bad in the movie, like actually like awful. But I kind of want to watch the movie still. I don't know.
I feel like it's like gonna turn into like a so bad it's good type of thing.
I don't even. The thing is, like, everyone says it won't do that. It's just bad. Just makes you feel like.
Oh,
wow.
really? You can't even like laugh at
That's
it.
what I'm. Yeah, which I'm like, dang.
That would kind of suck.
That's crazy.
That's gotta suck when your movie's like so bad that like people don't even want to watch it to make fun of it.
I guess she spent like 5 years editing it.
Yeah,
too.
I heard that too.
Oh shit.
So, but the funny thing is, she's been doing all this promotional stuff for it, where she's like, I'm really proud of this movie, you know, and all this shit.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, she's got to know, you know.
They really like
Oh,
make fun of it.
But the
on
crazy thing too
Sardonicast.
is that like, when the movie came out, ever since it's come out, she's been getting to like a whole bunch of like arguments on Twitter with people who like are trashing the film, like saying like, but I did,
That's pathetic.
because like she
Come
was saying
on.
like, but I did 3 years of research.
Fuck
Like that's literally
off.
what she said.
Nah.
But I don't know.
I give you guys permission to slap me if I ever behave that way. Like both of you.
There's that like Alfonso Cuarón commercial,
Oh yeah.
the autism one. How's that go? Like I am autism.
Shit.
I don't remember, but I don't remember how it goes, but I know what.
Do you guys have anything else to say about?
No, it's already midnight.
Vox
Let's
Lux?
start wrapping it up.
Dang, that's crazy.
Almost 3 hours. That's
Yeah.
good. I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Anthony.
Yeah.
Let me think.
My phone making that noise.
I'll give this one
I liked it more than Black Swan.
a 21 out of 23. I really like. I really like this movie.
I'm in your boat too. This movie's like gonna change the way how I see movies.
It really
definitely.
did.
Oh,
It's
okay.
made a really big impression
Yeah.
on me.
I would give this probably like a 9.5. That's what I give Naked.
Damn.
Yeah, I really like this movie. This movie
Damn.
like really.
You really like
This
this
movie really hit me. Like this movie like genuinely was like terrifying. Like the whole thing, I'm just like I just feel this
Creeps
pit
you
in my
out.
stomach.
It's one of
Yeah.
those where you're like, I can't believe this got made. You know.
Yeah, I don't even understand like how somebody thought of this either. You know, like,
Yeah.
this is really intense.
So
This
abstract.
is like how what I wish Perfect Blue was, you know. Like this is like
Yeah.
really just like this.
Yeah.
This movie takes the Perfect Blue concept, like the Black Swan. I haven't seen Black Swan, but it takes that concept of like, you know, like really anxiety, like high performance, you know, like
Yeah.
caring about your image, and it's like really perfected it. This is like unbelievable to me.
I feel like it's smarter than Perfect Blue.
I
and
think it
Black
is
Swan.
100%. This is like
Yeah.
really incredible storytelling and like themes. Everything is really just powerful.
It's got like a naturalistic and spiritual.
Yeah, it's just
element
it's
to it.
really solid. I really like the concept.
I'd watch it again and really focus on like the devil.
Yeah,
devil
if you
stuff,
do
'cause
that,
I didn't really
when
like
you go through that
pick
with
up
that
on that
lens.
part.
It really does recontextualize.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like it makes the movie better.
Yeah, and I like that it does that. Like I like that you can
No,
go in this
yeah.
movie and not pick that up, but if you like really pay attention to the devil stuff, it's like this suddenly it's
It's
like really
creepy as
rich.
fuck.
It's really rich. Yeah.
Yeah. Like almost like Hereditary or something, where it's just it was always there. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spooky.
All right. So yeah, I give this 9.5 out of 10.
All right.
Okay. So recommendations.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
Okay, so he goes first.
Anthony goes first.
Then you, then me.
Okay, let me see.
Oh.
Oh, 3 viewers. We're about to recommend the next movie. Oh, I got one. What did I put? I wrote something down here.
Oh yeah, I've been adding a whole bunch of stuff to my watch list too. It's
Yeah, me
getting
too.
a little bit much richer.
Yeah, mine's getting a little larger.
Mine is getting pretty big. Yeah. I already know what I'm gonna choose.
You guys want to watch a 9-hour movie?
Fuck no.
Is it Satan Tango?
Maybe
No.
maybe over the summer. Over the summer.
Yeah, we should do we should each recommend a trilogy over
Yeah,
the
that'd
summer.
Yeah, we could do that.
That's a good idea. I haven't been watching too much lately.
Yeah, I already know what I want to watch. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I hope it's great.
Let's.
I hope it's good.
You
It's
really
great.
liked
Hmm.
Vox Lux.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I've
glad.
been getting really into like anti-Christian shit recently, so
Ah.
I was in the perfect frame of mind for this. I was thinking super hard about everything.
No, that's good though.
Yeah. Man, or even that like the beginning shot with like the ambulances going like down the
Yeah.
street. Like I like that shot.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do shots like that, and I like that they did it.
The way it just holds and lingers on
Yeah.
things is it feels so unique.
Yeah.
That's what I'd call this movie, is unique.
Yeah.
You know, or describe.
It doesn't even feel like a movie. It feels like it does feel like I'm like watching like I don't know, like Satan was guiding the filmmakers to make this movie.
Brady Corbet is like a Satan worshiper.
Yeah.
You guys heard about DMX dying last
Mm-mm.
week?
DMX.
Yeah, he's a rapper. He made y'all gonna make me lose my
Oh
mind.
no shit, bro.
Yeah, he died last week. But he was the star of this movie called Belly, but it's directed by Hype Williams, who is a
Hype Williams.
he's a really big
Belly.
music video director, and I like it when music video directors,
Make movie.
yeah, go into features.
Oh fuck yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna recommend it, but I just want to talk about
Alright,
it.
Do we want to watch the movies together again? Maybe.
If it makes it easier.
Yeah,
Well, I think we'll talk. We'll
It
text about it.
depends.
Yeah, we'll text about
Yeah.
it.
It's always fun watching it.
let me see. There's just one. I just don't know if we'll be able to find it. So let me see if it's easily
Alright, yeah, shit. I
readily
might
available.
not. Mine might not be easy to find. Oh god.
So I want to recommend. Well, okay. If we could find this movie, I'm gonna recommend it. It's called Nowhere. It's directed by Greg Araki, who's most
Oh.
known for directing
Mysterious
Mysterious
Skin.
Skin. But I'll read the log line that's on Letterboxd. Described as 90210 on acid, the film tells the story of a day in the lives of a group of high school kids in Los Angeles, and the strange lives they lead.
That sounds good.
So I just.
It looks interesting.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. If not that, I think I know which other one I'd like to recommend. So let me see. What's it called?
Shit, I don't know where you can find this movie. Damn it. Wow, it's short.
How long is it?
An hour 13 minutes.
Interesting.
Huh. Is it a documentary?
Oh wait, no. So these people say it's an hour 30, and these other people say it's an hour 15.
What
so
the
I don't
fuck
know.
is Realize?
Realize.
I believe it's a streaming service, but let's see.
Oh, okay.
Fuck yeah, I can't. I don't think they have it anywhere. Watch it. Fuck, that's disappointing.
Dang, I guess it's not available in our country. Dang, that's sad.
Nice.
Oh wait, maybe Criterion has it. Let me see.
I've been itching to rewatch this movie, and I'd like to have a discussion with you guys about it. So I'm gonna recommend the 2019 A24 epic Waves.
Yes!
I
Direct,
love Waves.
directed by Trey Edward Shultz.
I've been wanting to see that again. You and
Yeah.
me were talking about that.
Yeah. And that movie is, I feel like it's the better version of Euphoria. Like,
Oh, for real?
yeah.
Really? Oh, Euphoria is like Waves, kind of.
Yeah. Euphoria is a bit more drug heavy, but
Waves is fucking.
yeah,
Oh,
Waves.
nice.
That movie's gonna
Yes.
leave an impression on you.
Yeah.
Okay, I can recommend this movie. I'll have to buy it on Amazon.
Oh fuck! I think the movie I'm gonna recommend is on Amazon Prime for like $5.
Okay.
So maybe we can come over, watch it. I've been wanting to watch.
Yeah, and
this
I got
movie
the
for a
Blu-ray
while.
for Waves if you
Sweet.
guys want. I'll bring my PS4. Or
Yeah, bring
you
your
guys can-
bring your PlayStation. My shit sucks.
Yeah. Or if you guys want, you can come over to my house too.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
a
Oh, that'd be
cool
cool.
setup.
Okay, and Elijah.
It's your turn.
Oh, Jordy, what'd you say? What'd you recommend?
I'm after you this time.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I went first though last time. I did elephant.
Yeah. So it goes the last guy we.
Oh. I mean,
Does-
whatever. I'll go.
It doesn't
All
matter.
right, I want to do
What the?
Bubble by what's his name? Soderbergh.
Oh, Steven Soderbergh.
Steven
Oh
Soderbergh,
yeah,
yeah.
Joseph likes this movie, right?
But I don't know.
Or he was talking about.
He was talking
this.
about it.
Shout out to Joseph.
Yeah, I don't know if he saw it or not, but I really want to see. I really like
I've
the
heard
images.
of it.
Bubble.
Bubble Boy.
No, just Bubble.
I'm just kidding.
So I was like, no, not that one.
Oh shit! Have you seen the IMDb cover?
Yeah, I like
Post.
that. I like
Yeah,
it.
that's what I'm
but I
looking
think
at
the
right
poster
now.
looks cool.
Another Steven Soderbergh experience.
See, Steven Soderbergh has a interesting filmography.
He really is just like a workaholic. It seems. He just makes a movie a year almost, right?
Oh shit, that's cool.
Let's see how many directing credits he has. Sorry, you can go, Elijah, if you're ready.
Yeah.
He has 44 director credits.
God lord.
And he's only fucking okay. He's like 50. He's 58.
He does like a lot of like extensive stuff though.
Like
he did the Liberace movie Behind the Candelabra.
Yeah, yeah. You know, his
that was a good
filmography is so
movie,
varied. It's
you
very
know?
diverse.
Yeah. Alrighty. Do I want to do that? Ah, fuck it. Alright, I've been wanting to see this movie.
All right, what is it?
Shame,
Oh, yes.
2011 by Steve McQueen. Have you seen it?
Cool.
Have you seen it, Anthony?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay. Michael Fassbender, Carey Mulligan.
Oh, nice. All right, cool. That sounds good.
Steve McQueen. He did 12 Years a Slave, but this is the movie that kind of got him on the map.
Yeah.
Shame. This one
And
and
then
Hunger.
Hunger. I have Hunger on Criterion.
Oh,
We need to
nice.
watch that
Yeah.
sometime. Hunger. I've seen a little bit of it. Hunger's really like. Hunger is like long takes on drugs.
Oh yeah.
Steve McQueen's a really interesting director. Steve McQueen's a really interesting director. Sort of like in style, like the people we've been talking about, but like just very strong and bold choices and just very visual.
Dude.
His last two projects, Widows, and then he did like a mini series for Amazon
Yeah.
called Small Acts. I haven't seen there's one episode that everyone says is really really good. I haven't seen it yet, but
Mangrove.
is it
I
that?
think it's called Mangrove.
Yeah,
It's like a race thing.
but yeah, that's the thing. Some of them are like okay, but then yeah, I'll probably check out the good episode at least.
There's a scene in Hunger that like makes it kind of infamous. I don't know if you've heard of it, but we need to sit down and watch that.
All right,
sometime.
it sounds good.
It's
I'll look
crazy.
forward to it.
The scene is crazy. Shame though, yeah. And
All right.
like everyone says Shame is really good.
So we're watching what was it called? What was it called?
Waves.
Waves,
Yeah.
Bubble, and Shame.
Yeah.
Shame. Okay, those are all one word.
Sh-
All one word
Shame-
titles.
Shame's on Amazon. So yeah, all one word titles.
All one word titles. Yeah. Okay, I think that's good. That's good.
This'll be
How'd you guys what were your favorite movies this episode of the three?
Definitely Elephant.
Elephant.
Probably
Elephant.
Vox Lux.
Yeah, see that I wasn't expecting to like Vox Lux that much at all, dude.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to like more than Elephant.
Vox Lux was really good, but like Gus Van Sant's Death Trilogy holds a special place in my heart.
That's good. No, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Elephant is still like fucking kick ass. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a kick ass
yeah.
fucking movie. But like Vox Lux is like definitely like ahead of its time.
Okay, that's fair. I respect that. But that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I've heard of Bubble. I don't know what it's about.
Me neither.
But-
It reminds me of like a comedy Korean movie with like some of the images.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
the poster kind of looks
Yeah,
like
the
that.
posters. I don't usually like to look at images too much before I watch the film.
The poster though, it doesn't look like it spoils anything.
Nah,
it looks pretty
nah,
cool.
Yeah. Okay,
So-
I think I'll end it there.
The poster for Vox Lux was really deceiving.
Yes, super deceiving. It's like
Yeah.
It was
Rocket
kinda
Man
shitty.
poster.
Yeah.
That's what
Bohemian
I was saying.
Rhapsody
Like,
poster.
who did the marketing for this fucking movie? But, anyways, peace out, film fans.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye bye, film fans.
All right, you guys have a good one. Thank you for watching.
This is bad country.